Hello guys, this is Good Like, and this is a video about World of Warcraft Classic. I haven't made any videos recently, not just because WoW Classic, but because it was summer and I decided to take a break for the summer. Fortunately, I don't know how to stop, so my break ended up expanding all the way to November and possibly a bit beyond. I started off by playing a batch of Path of Exile that introduced these historic encounters, which basically meant that every place that you went had extra mobs. In that league, I finished everything with Path of Exile, except 2 achievements. I did 44 out of 40 challenges, I leveled up a character to level 100 for the first time, running tier 16 maps back to back, and the occasional delve. I hadn't played the game for over a year before that, so there were a lot of mechanics to catch up to, and overall it was really fun and lasted over 2 months actually, I believe. And then obviously Classic started coming out. I didn't join with at the very beginning because I wasn't sure I wanted to join. Even today, as much as I have played it, really it's something I do more so because it's fun and enjoyable now, not because I have some plans to play very long term. So I don't know if I'll play for much longer, who knows. What I do know is that I want to play a paladin tank in TBC. That's what I want to do, and I can't. So I guess I'm playing the next best thing, a warrior tank in Classic. Because if there's one thing I can say is that throughout all the times that I've played World of Warcraft, the most fun I've enjoyed was just doing some good old tanking. Nothing was quite as fun and enjoyable as filling that role for me. And paladins just happen to be the type of tank that I personally like the most. But the mechanics to make them work a way that I would like don't exist in Classic, so even if I were to play a paladin tank, it wouldn't be the same paladin tank as in TBC, so I wasn't particularly driven to join Classic, at least not anytime soon. But since I was doing nothing special in particular, I decided why not, I'll play a warrior tank or something. I mean, it's Classic. I've never really played actual Classic. Well, why not give it a try? And sure enough, the game is almost as good as I remember and expected. It's not quite as much of an experience anymore, though I don't know. There could be many reasons for that. What I mean by that is, I recall when I was leveling my very first character, constantly meeting at least 1 or 2 people all the time. You know, you'd do a group in something like Red Ridge Mountains. Then later you would meet up in Stranglethorn by chance, or in Duskwood, or Arathi Islands. Yeah, you know. You would just run into people by chance doing the same thing that you met before. To me that was fascinating, I would say, and it was really sad that I couldn't experience that when leveling, let's say, alts in the future. Now, to be fair, the first character I leveled really fucking slowly. It took me like months upon months, and I assume the follow-up characters fared a lot better in that respect. So there's something to consider. Now, I haven't experienced as much of that while playing in Classic, unfortunately. And I think part of it is because I do actually know how the game goes, because I did play through TBC early on, and the early level experience is kind of more or less the same. One particular thing that maybe has a big influence here is that a lot of servers are actually PvP. I chose to play in a PvE server because I didn't want to deal with world PvP. It wasn't something I was familiar, because I always played on a PvE server, and there's some part of me that wants to experience it, and some part that thinks it's probably not a good idea. So For one, for example, you'd probably have to research what the population of each realm is. Otherwise, you might end up either in a PvP realm where you dominate, and then your side dominates the population, and then it will be just basically more or less like PvE. Or you will end up in the opposite side where you're the one that's being dominated, and while that may be an authentic experience, it's not particularly one I care to try out. More to the fact, I enjoy tanking, which is an instance PvE type of experience. It doesn't really translate to PvP at all. So I said, fuck it. I'd rather just start off in a PvE server, see if I even, you know, get past the first 10 levels. Maybe I'll hate it and drop it immediately. Oh no. I've been playing for just over a month. I don't think I had any days where I didn't log in and play, because it's that much of an enjoyable experience just going through all the stuff. Again, seeing all the places, doing all the quests, looking for groups, reading chat, interacting with people, and all of it taking a pain in the ass amount of time and effort. It's fucking great. I don't know. It's... I guess it's like when you have these weird sounding dishes that people make that are delicacies. Like, you wouldn't eat that if I told you what its name is. But if I didn't, you'd probably stuff your face with it. That's WoW. That's WoW. Anyway, I started playing, leveling, did pretty much every zone, every quest I could come across. Every dungeon, did every quest in every dungeon. Whew. Did some dungeons multiple times just because I felt like doing a dungeon at some point. And I'm a tank, so everybody always needs me. They never whisper me. I've only... Okay, that's not true. I've been whispered a few times, but barely. Maybe that's because my character is called Good Tank, and they think, okay, this guy's just fucking around. There's no way he's actually a good tank that knows anything. I'll have you know I solo tanked Mimiron 10-man hard mode, motherfuckers. And there's video proof of it too, so it's not just me talking shit. Anyway, I only mentioned this because, yeah, that's one of the highlights of my experience playing World of Warcraft, and would love to relive that, but it's not possible in any reasonable way that I would be interested in pursuing. I started off playing with very few add-ons, just the really basic ones like, you know, replacement for bags and what else? Just all kinds of fluff that doesn't really impact the real classic experience. You know, like a map add-on so you can see the map instead of having to keep it open in a tab on the browser, and things like that. Eventually I did install more and more add-ons. I wouldn't have if the game had a few features, of course, but it's an old game and not necessarily caters to certain things. For example, I wanted to do all the low-level quests in, let's say, Darnassus. But I couldn't do that because if I go to the area, like, I can't see the quest markers because they're low-level quests. And this even applies to quests that are still green to you, so it's like insane. As a result of doing all that, I was constantly over-leveled for the areas, except in one tiny moment of time during like low 30 level. So I ultimately ended up using the add-on all the time, even though I installed it just so I could, you know, see where the low-level quests are. Oh, well, every fucking quest turned out to be a low-level quest at some point. It's not the end of the world. I mean, if I hadn't done any of this before, then I maybe would have been a bit more upset, but because I know where everything is anyway, more or less, I just need to jog my noggin, remember those things from a decade ago, and then it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. One of the add-ons that I installed was a suggestion from reading Reddit on the bathroom during work or something, called character notes, wherein you can select a character, right-click them, and put some notes about this character, and whenever they do literally anything, you can see that they have a note. So for example, we'll have some random mage we met and did some dungeons together or whatever. I could put a note on it, and instead of literally having to friend them, because there's limited use to that, I see them talking shit on, like, say, trade chat in the city next time. I'm like, yeah, I know that guy. We did a dungeon run together or something. So it's a really useful add-on from that point of view, because me and names, that's just impossible. Like, I can't remember real names of real people. You expect me to remember fake names by fake people? Unless it's a literal meme like Good Tank, there's no fucking chance. There's no fucking chance I'm gonna remember the name of the character if someone's called... I don't fucking know. Let's open this one. Elfwin! What the fuck is that? Go back to J.R.R. Tolkien's video games or something. I don't know. I'm not talking shit about names here. The point is that I just have no chance of remembering them actually with my mind. So I have to use tools to assist me. So I started using this add-on and started taking notes on pretty much every single person that I fucking encountered throughout the 59 levels that I've managed to amass so far. And I thought, okay, we're almost 60. All that's left for this character going forward is gonna be, what? We're gonna fucking do endless BRD runs or something. That's not gonna be very fun, probably. So let's just go ahead and go through the list now, because I do want to go through the list of people that I met leveling in WoW and see how much I remember, how much of an impression these people have left me, such that just a simple note about them evokes memories about the good times that we had. Because I tell you, some of them will not evoke good times and good memories, but some of them will, I'm sure. While I'm doing this, I'll level up fishing too, so it's maximum efficiency, as you can tell. The list is quite expansive, as you can see. Most of the names are green or yellow, because I'm a nice person. Even if you do very small things to me, I'll still give you a green color. Most of the time. If you get yellow, I mean, I'm not saying you did something horribly wrong, but I guess you just didn't leave much of an impression on me. And red, I mean, you have to be the literal fucking devil to get red or something. I don't know. But we'll see as we go down. So the first one in the list is Achilles. Warrior. Very nice run of Alderman. Okay, so this is the guy that I partied with for Alderman. Obviously, he's a warrior. Since I didn't specify that he's a tank, he was a DPS. If I recall correctly, it was a nice run through from beginning to end. We were all kind of mid 40 level characters. I don't think I did Alderman with low level characters at all. It's just like everyone that goes there is high level for some reason. The most distinct thing I remember from that is that obviously he's a warrior and he's at level 40 plus. So the only fucking thing that he has on his hotbars is whirlwind, 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 and he just spams it. So I didn't even try to tank properly at that point, and I just said, fuck it, I'll just go and also do spamming of whirlwind, 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 and hopefully my whirlwind is stronger than his whirlwind and I'll get to keep the aggro. It sort of worked most of the time. The healer started complaining towards the end, saying, guys, I'm starting to run out of mana. And I'm like, dude, okay, if something bad happens, don't worry, I'll switch to shield. Like, we have a mage, we can polymorph, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Don't worry, priest. And everything was fine, obviously, because it's not a very hard game, is this? Hopefully, as we go down, we'll see the other party members in this list. But I had a few runs to Alderman, so there might be some overlap. Elfwin, the aforementioned Tolkien character, is a druid who helped me with Elite Murlocs in Stranglethorn. Okay, so there's a bunch of Elite Murlocs in Stranglethorn. What was going on there was, I was minding my own business in Stranglethorn, and I see a person say, looking for more for this quest that you pick up in motherfucking Thousand Needles or something. And obviously it leads you to Elite Murlocs in Stranglethorn, which is on the other continent. Now I happen to have this quest because, like I said, I went through every single zone, combed it up, down, sideways, and picked up every quest I could. If I missed some, it's like you could count the amount of quests I missed on fucking one hand's fingers, if you even need that. So I joined this guy, and we make our way to the place. It's right off the coast. We try to get a Murloc, and we realize these fucking Murlocs are deep. Like deep, deep, deep. And this druid is like, dude, don't die. If you die, you can't res. Now I haven't verified this because we didn't end up dying. But presumably you can't res underwater or something? I guess that makes some level of sense. I know that normally when you're dead you can walk on water with your spirit and shit, but you can't actually go inside the water if you just point down and go down. So in theory, if you add these two together, you should be able to get to your corpse even if it's underwater and then resurrect there. But this guy was convinced that that's impossible. And to this day I don't know if that's the case or not. Our first attempt to kill a Murloc, we did manage to kill it, but about halfway through killing it I almost ran out of breath and almost died to drowning. So we realized, okay, there's no fucking way we're gonna do this without underwater breathing. Fortunately at that time I still didn't have Hydrocane, which is a stab that allows underwater breathing, which would trivialize this entire conundrum. So what other methods of water breathing are there? One, you could get someone like a Warlock to give you a buff. And that was our first attempt, and since no Warlocks were there, in fact we were joined by 2 random mages instead. And yeah, as a result we had me a warrior, a druid, and 2 mages. Not a winning combination. Not for underwater extravaganzas. Thankfully, however, I had completed Ashenvale before this, and one of the quests in Ashenvale gives you water walking potions, which, not water walking, sorry, water breathing. Water walking would be very nice, but that's not happening. Water breathing potions that I noticed were not actually soul-bound. You could sell them, and therefore you could also make them and buy them on the auction house. So I say, okay dude, look, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go to the auction house, I'm gonna buy these potions, and we're gonna use these potions and go underwater. While I'm doing this, find more party members. That's how we found 2 mages to join us. What are the odds of so many people wanting to do the same quest at the same time? I don't know, but it happened. At that point I still didn't have a mount, I believe. We were still under 40, I think. Close to 40, but not quite there. So I fucking run all the way to the fucking Darkshire and Duskwood, fly to Stormwind, back, and then run all the way down to that place. Took me like 20-30 minutes or something. And just in case, being the intelligent person that I am, I bought extra water breathing potions. For one, if we die, we'll have extra. For 2, even if I don't use them, maybe there'll be other quests in the future that will require water breathing, and I still won't have Hydrocane. Neither of these came to be true, by the way, because I both acquired a Hydrocane quite soon thereafter, and there were no other quests until that point which required water breathing, though there were some afterwards, so it wasn't entirely a waste. Anyway, I do this, I bring the potions, I give each one a potion. One of them actually pays me money, even though I didn't need any, they weren't that expensive. and we go. Of course, druids have water form. They can turn into a seal and stuff, so the druid didn't need the water breathing potions, but I did, and all the other people that ended up joining needed it. We finished the quest pretty much without any trouble. Easy mode. You have a healer, you have me, the good tank. What else do you fucking need? And the 2 mages in case something happens. So we have sheeps all over the place. How the hell the sheeps don't drown underwater? Don't ask stupid questions. Listen, the big point is we finish it, and as we're going up, I see a mage in exactly the same predicament as I. He's sitting there in the middle of a fucking ocean. It's like, any warlock could give me water breathing, please. And I go up to him and I trade him a fucking water breathing potion. And it's like, oh my god, thanks, dude. And that was the story of Elite Morlocks in Staranglethorn. How I gave water breathing potion to a random mage in the middle of an ocean when he least expected it. Nobody expects the good tank with a water walking potion. Nobody. Okay, next up is Hunter Arevine, which, as you can see, I met in Wetlands, Dunmother, and we did all quests. How does this work out? Okay, so in Wetlands there is an elite camp of dwarves, and these dwarves have a few quests for them. Specifically, one quest to go disarm some bombs further away. That one isn't actual elite. One quest to kill the big elite dudes, and another quest to just kill all of the elite dudes that aren't big. And this hunter happened to be in a group with 4 people. When he started killing the elites, his mates were still coming over. He's a hunter, he doesn't give a shit, he'll kill elites by himself. So I asked for an invite and I get one. I wasn't the tank in that group because they already had a tank and the healer that was Shadow, I think. So I mean, what really is Shadow at level 30 or whatever the quest that you do at? Not really anything. The point being, we engaged with the elites and we killed all the dwarfs and all was well. Until we got to the big guy. Because this guy that was our new tank, he ain't give no shit about pulling extra mobs. So he kept pulling the big guy with a literal fuckload of mobs that were all next to him. Now, it's possible there was nothing we could do and we had to deal with those mobs anyway, but there were things you could have done. You could have used fear, you could have used, I don't know, a fucking trap, maybe from 100. I don't fucking know what they have at level 30 in Classic. Nah, you just run in, get him, fucking nuke him. And this elite guy isn't that simple because he's a bit higher level for one, so people had trouble actually killing it. But also, he has Shadow Bolt AoE that he likes to fucking unleash upon people. And once again, he's higher level, so it's not actually trivial to interrupt him either. You'll miss your interrupts. And he also has like something like Frost Nova or something. Basically, he's a pain in the ass. Yet somehow, we managed to kill him on our first try. It was the messiest thing I've ever seen since I started playing WoW again, but we did it. Like, everyone was like on less than a quarter of health. We've traversed multiple rooms before we actually killed the guy. We were basically started in like basement of an inn and almost outside by the time we finished. But by golly gee, we fucking killed him. And I don't think we even had casualties somehow. That was miraculous. Unfortunately, turns out the only place where one of the mobs that you need to kill for the other quest spawn is right next to him. So I had to do it again. And this time things didn't go quite as well. So maybe that one time we killed it was just a fluke. Anyway, we wrapped up the quests, no problem. The people in there didn't strike me as very nice. They just your average schmuck playing WoW, saying, I still need one blah blah blah, and something like that in incoherent English. But they did stay through killing all the ones that we needed, so it's fine. I'm not complaining. Just saying. I met better parties since, so. We get done with the elite quests, and the party dissolves essentially, because no one wants to go to do the non-elite quest in the group, for some reason. So yes, fuck it, I'll go and do it myself. Now at the time I didn't know it wasn't non-elite. I thought these people just genuinely like fucking crazy. Like, here's an elite quest here, we have a group here, who gives a fuck, let's not even go do it. What's going on there is like this. You have a long ass rickety bridge, and on the other side of the bridge there's a little encampment full of dwarfs. There's like 5 dwarfs or something. In the middle of the camp there's a wagon full of explosives, and your goal is get to the wagon, press some buttons, run away. Or, you know, if you feel like, kill everyone, and then you don't have to run away, you can just walk away. And I kept trying somehow to do this without killing the mobs, because I thought, they're all elite, there's no way I'm gonna kill 5 elite dwarfs. It's just not gonna happen, dude. So I used all kinds of tricks. I tried to, like, navigate to the explosives without pulling anything. I tried intimidating shout, got resisted and stuff. But then this hunter, Erwin, turns out he still wanted to do this quest as well. So we rejoined into a group again, and well, we did the quest, and that's when I found out, oh, these aren't elites. You're right. We can just fucking kill them. We still didn't fucking kill them. Fuck that shit. We used a pet to distract them while we tried to use the thing, whatever the fuck we were supposed to use on the explosives, and that didn't work because the other dwarves decided, well, instead of attacking the pet, which was the only target that they knew about, why don't we throw some explosives right over there next to the explosives? And that interrupted us, and then we had to do it again. Look, it was a real big mess, but one thing led to another and we completed the quest. And that's the reason why I wrote down that we did all the quests, because that's what we did. We did all the quests with the hunter, and everyone else just fucked off. Alas, mage, I helped them with ghost quests. So, one of the main reasons that prompted to make a video like this where I talk about this is that I opened this fucking same exact window and I thought, what the fuck am I talking about? What fucking ghost quests? This is just my guess as to what actually was going on. But I believe, after racking my brain for quite some time, that the quests that I'm referring to are the ghost quests in wetlands. In wetlands there's a ghost ship, well, more specifically 2 ghost ships. Probably pretty much soon thereafter, after doing these elite quests, I went down to complete some quests there. I did one of the quests, which involves going in one of the boats, picking up something at the bottom of it, go back to town. Then it sends you back in there, and you have to kill like the captain or something. Maybe I'm remembering this wrong. Actually, I think the first quest is just kill some ghosts, and it's the second quest that gives you kill the captain and then pick something up. Yeah, I think that's the correct order. So I met this mage, I assume, on the second stage of the quest. I was doing the second stage, he was doing the first one, he killed my fucking captain. And just so you know, he doesn't have to kill the captain on the first fucking stage. But they just happened to be on the wrong fucking ghost ship, killing the wrong fucking ghost. I didn't even realize at first. I thought, well, they just killed the captain because they needed the captain. And then, you know, I started talking to them. Oh well, guys, I guess I'll just wait for respawn. Well, what do you do? What do you got to do? Their responses was really strange, and they started talking and saying, "Where's this? Where's that?" And I'm all like, wait a minute, they don't even need to kill this captain. And when I say they, yeah, there was a mage and a hunter. Anyway, whatever, I said, okay guys, look, here's what you're gonna do. Let's go complete this other quest for you, so you can go give in and come back here with a follow-up, and then we all 3 can do the follow-up. I would have had to wait for respawns anyway, so who gives a shit. And that's basically how it went. We just went in there. I think at least one of them almost drowned a couple of times, which is pretty bad, but that seems to be a common theme with these early people, is that they suffer drowning or something similar. That's what I believe was this. I helped this mage. Now the reason he's not green, I guess, is because I was the one helping him. So I have no way to know, you know, if I'm just helping some asshole, or is it just a nice person, or maybe he's evil. Who knows? I don't know. I just helped him because he was there and we talked, and I said, fuck it, I'll help you. Amethyst is a priest healer for a Sunken Temple run at level 58-59, yes. This morning I did the Sunken Temple run, and I dinged 59 after we killed the last boss. Like, yeah. Well, what basically happened here was I did the Sunken Temple run last week, which completed all the quests. Or so I thought, as I started doing Angoro yesterday, and I realized, oh look, here's a quest that sends you to Sunken Temple. And what's more, to the shitty Sunken Temple part that most people probably wouldn't do if they wouldn't know better. Thankfully, I mastered the Sunken Temple layout on the first run through. I'm what can I say? I have one of the best senses of direction in the world, I guess. In the World of Warcraft, anyway. Last time I was a DPS. I'll tell you more about it when we get to the people from that run, I guess. This time I was a tank, and I was tanking, spanking. I was like I said, 58. Everyone else was around 50, so clearly I was boosting everybody. But that doesn't mean anything, because they would just like immediately open up with all the AoEs and attacks and everything, as is tradition in pugs these days. Since I did have a level advantage and a knowledge of layout and everything, I think it went quite respectably. About as well as you could expect for those circumstances. I don't believe anyone actually died except me once until the last boss, where we wiped once and then another person died on the second attempt, which was the kill. Me dying, well, it happens. You're a tank, sometimes you just take a string of attacks that you shouldn't have taken and you die. And by shouldn't have taken, I mean just the RNG gods decided that you should. And the healer just didn't land a big heal in time. Whatever, happens to everybody. It's not like I'm wearing tanking gear here, right? I just put on a shield and hope I survive. But the last boss has one particular nasty mechanic where they literally banish the main tank for 15 seconds, and that nobody can do anything about it. I don't know, maybe paladins can bubble out of it or something, but that's unlikely. And what happens when the tank's banished? The boss goes and attacks the next target. Now, in the first attempt, what happened was that the warlock that was in our group pulled aggro and died, and then the rogue took over, and the rogue survived for a bit, but he didn't survive long enough, and eventually died. And then I got banished again, and then when I got banished after him being dead, everyone else died. In the second attempt, pretty much the same thing happened, but this time rogue didn't die because he had cooldowns this time, so we were good. He had his evasion maneuvers or whatever. But the warlock died again, obviously, because even though you tell people, please don't DPS at start at least as much, because you'll pull aggro and die, they don't like to listen. I still think I gave that warlock a green rating, because, I mean, it was just one boss, man. I'm not evil or anything, you know. Next up is Ananthel. Warrior, nice run of Oldemine at 47-48. So this was one of those instances where I decided I really want to run a dungeon right now instead of doing anything else. So I did an Older Man run, which was the only real instance I could run at that level appropriately. I guess I could have done a Sunken Temple too. Probably not, actually. The last boss too high level. But yeah, Maraudon could have done Maraudon, but there was no groups for it, and there was a group for Older Man. I said, fuck it. Okay, I'll tank you, some Older Man. So this was another case of me going ham as basically DPS, not really a tank, and another warrior doing the same, and us basically cleaving the instance down for all intents and purposes. I don't know. There's so many warriors, surprisingly, that are DPS. What are you doing, guys? What are you doing? Why can't you just put on a shield and just do the same thing? You think it's gonna be much different? It's just that you get a personal healer to heal you when things hit you, and you got more rage because more things hit you. And I say more because probably some things hit you all the time, because you have Whirlwind, and it as fucking too much AoE. Don't remember much else about the run, but I do know that that run was easy peasy, because we were like, I was level 47, 48, so yeah. Then we have Anastara. It's a mage from Wetlands. Help me with Murlocs and Fen Creepers. Right, so I was going to Wetlands quite late. Like I said, I went to pretty much every zone quite late. So I was using the add-on to see where all the low level quests, and one of the quests that I went to was the Grey Warden's quest, which is a big willow-like creature or whatever. You know, one of those like elementals, like the Tar Lords from Ungoro. And he gives a bunch of quests one after the other to do this or that. Kill some Murlocs, kill some Fen Creepers, whatever the fuck. And this mage was just happened to be one of the mages doing the quests at the same time, and we joined up, and I said, hey, wanna do this quest? And he said, okay, let's do it. And it was fun. The Fen Creeper quest was annoying because there's like 5 Fen Creepers and you need to kill like 12 of them, and they're invisible and they're all over the swamp. We started off by destroying a camp of Murlocs that had not a single Murloc that we actually needed. That was nice. But mages are OP, so even though it was a camp of Murlocs, we just AoE'd them down. No problem. Easy game. The only other thing I remember, I think, was that he went a bit AFK at some point and started following me. Nothing bad happened. I'm just saying, you know, that's what he did. Ashes. We're still on A, guys. This is gonna be a long video. Paladin, nice run of Razorfin Downs. As I recall, I only did Razorfin Downs once. That's a lie. I did it twice, back to back. Yeah, the first run was lame. The second run was good. For some definition of lame and good. Okay, so I think I was DPSing the second run and tanking the first run, which may attribute to them being lame when I was tanking and nice when I was DPSing. Anyway, that stage of the character level was still relatively low. I wasn't sure necessarily how to do AoE tanking and stuff, and I happened to be in a group with 2 rogues. The only possible way that could be worse would be with like 3 mages or something, but at least then they could, you know, survive. When it's 2 rogues, they just ruin everything and then they die. We'll talk about the shitty run later. The nice run, though, followed immediately afterwards. Basically, we finished the shitty run, just barely, kinda, and then I went back to Ironforge and I saw another person going for it, and I thought, okay, well, we didn't finish one of the things in there. Why don't we do that? The things that we didn't finish was the escort mission. There's an escort mission, and people were all like, no, we don't want to do the escort, or we'll do it afterwards. And then, you know, the last boss is killed, and they're all like, well, we're sorry, we have to go. That's why that was a lame run. A lame run. But the nice run did involve doing the escort and pretty much everything along the way. And that was really nice. I really enjoyed that. That was really cool. Yeah, I definitely wasn't the tank in that run, because I forgot to give in the quest after the escort, because there was like no obvious marking there that I should. So I had to go and quickly go give it back in. And there's no way I would have gotten away with that if I was the tank. They would be like, what the fuck are you doing? But in this case, they were all like, just like, where are you going, guy? We're going this way. Where are you going that way? Which is understandable and expected. Yeah, it was a very smooth run, all things considered, from what I recall. Really nice group. Ascano, the rogue, from a decent Scarlet Monastery library run. Why is he yellow? I don't remember specifically, but something just didn't sit right. If it was something specific, I would have probably written it down in the note. So in this case, it probably was just his maybe general attitude. I think what happened was that every run before this one, when I had people in groups, they were kind of chatty and, like, you know, engaging, whereas this rogue happened to be not as engaging and seemed a little bit more challenged, let's say. So I don't know, maybe that's why I said him as yellow, but I think that was just a coincidence that I happened to be in groups well versed in the social aspects of life before then. because you sure as hell don't see very many dead chatty rogues. Or maybe I'm just getting more crouchy as I level up higher. It's like getting older, but instead it's just your level going up. I don't know. Anyway, the gist of it was, someone was advertising SM Library. I had just finished picking up the quest for Scarlet Monastery, which is the quest to kill 4 of their leaders. You need to kill at least one of them in library. So, and in library you get the key to the other areas. So I thought, fuck it, let's go do it. Let's go join this group. And so I joined this group, and the leader, I believe, was a scanner. Yeah, other than that, it was a pretty standard run. Aggro was hard to keep, I guess. Maybe that also contributed to the yellowness. But other than that, it was just a dungeon run. After the dungeon run, since all of the people were around 33-ish, they decided not to continue into Armory and Cathedral, so we disbanded. Since I was there, I thought I'll get a group for Cathedral and Armory myself. And I see like a bunch of people standing outside the entrance. I'm all like, hey guys, what are you waiting for? And they're all like, we need a tank and a healer. And I'm like, okay, I'll be your tank. And they're like, awesome, priceless. I'm sure we'll get to them as well. Eventually, we eventually did get a healer, and it was great. And we destroyed Armory and destroyed Cathedral without much issue. Right, next up is RV/Nethergar Keep. Now the server I'm in, Nethergar Keep, and sometimes I think when I click on them through an add-on instead of directly, we get this weird way that their names are saved. I don't even know if that works for... I don't even know if that even works when it's like this. I hope so. If not, I'll fix that eventually somehow. Fortunately, you can't add manual notes with just a random name for some reason, even though that would be very useful. But I guess, well, you know, you can't have everything. I mean, you know, I didn't think this through. Anyway, this was a nice group of Razafran Crowl as a warrior. It was a priest. I'm pretty sure I only did Razafran Crowl once, but I could be completely wrong. It was a very, very chatty group. Yeah, and the reason why him having a warrior matters, now I remember. In Razafran Crowl, and the main reason I did it was because one of the warrior quests actually has some requirements to be met inside Razafran Crowl. It's to, like, kill a specific boss. And I didn't know the layout at all, because I've barely done Razafran Crowl at all. It's such a remote dungeon. Back in the day, I don't think you would do it when you were like going through TBC or whatever. You would do it, I guess, maybe with Dungeon Finder, but at that point I wasn't leveling alts. And then the instances was simplified and all that shit. Anyway, yeah, it was very interesting how it turned out. I think I joined as DPS, one of the first instances I actually DPS'd. It's particularly interesting because, you know, this game obviously lacks tanks, but at the same time it lacks literally everything for these instances that are far away, like Razafran Crowl, like that no alliance really wants to go to. So you can join even as DPS even if you're willing to tank, because no one wants to go there. They go there once for quests and they never visit it again. Shit, some people don't even visit it at all. Now that I do think about it, I do think that I was a tank in that specific run, so maybe that doesn't really apply, but it applies to some degree. Yeah, I think there was a paladin there that was DPS. That's why I thought that maybe the paladin was the tank, but no, I think he was DPS. There was a priest DPS, not this one. Yeah, this one, and so I'm getting all confused because there's so many things to remember. It was a priest DPS. It would constantly pull aggro. The paladin would constantly pull aggro, but nobody ever complained or even felt out of shape and continued to communicate nicely, like people. So that's why I thought it was a nice group. Not necessarily a nice run, see? See? It was a nice group. Okay, finally into beasts, we have Bacon Fett, Mage. Great first run of Sulfuric. First run of Zul'Farrak, I didn't know what the fuck was what. It's been too long since I've done it. I just remembered that there was a Godzilla somewhere, that there was a, like, you know, a pyramid event, and that's it, basically. I also knew that there was like a kind of like circular structure, and that's it. But as I went through all the areas and bosses, I started remembering all these kind of things. Still, I did get some help. I don't recall anything particular about the mage, except that there were 2 of them, I think, but maybe that was a different Zul'Farrak run. We'll see later, because that other mage I actually met again in Maraud. But one of the mages I didn't, one of them was, and the one that I didn't was the one that was more savvy about the dungeon. In that specific run, it started very interestingly, because a bunch of people actually were advertising looking for a tank for Zul'Farrak, and I wasn't sure which one to join, but one of them was advertising in a, you know, special manner. You know, when you advertise for a group, what you can do is write, looking for more tank, Zifi can summon, or you can go something like, looking for tank to get high on Zul'Farrak! Yeah! Something like that. There's a difference between the two. So this invitation was obviously the latter, and I decided to join it. And again, the run was pretty nice and smooth until the end. At the end, unfortunately, the healer had to go. He didn't have much time. But someone did step in and replace the healer, ultimately. Though another DPS left, then we had to 4-man it. It was fine. We'll get to that once we get to that healer, which I'm sure will be soon. Balls! The Warlock. Nice run of Zul'Farrak for gas. So, the way that it worked out was that I only got Gazrilla really late, because we never had the gong in the first run or 2. I don't remember if I did 2 or 3 runs. Let's assume 3. So I only acquired a gong later down the line, and when I did, I made a run immediately, pretty much. Well, they were really surprised, I think, that they got a tank so quickly, but, you know, just luck of the draw that I was looking out for a Zul'Farrak group at that time of the day there. Who knows what could have happened if I didn't. This run by comparison was easy peasy. We cleared everything. We started going right. We killed the boss. I think we did wipe on the first boss, unfortunately. I don't know, DPS was kind of crappy. But after that, everything went smooth as butter. We destroyed everything. Even when we pulled a big-ass group of like 6 enemies or more by accident. 1 person died at least, but we pulled together. And we managed to pull off a victory. It was a fine experience. The quest for Gazrilla is level 50, which confused me because I thought Gazrilla would be level 50 plus, but it turned out Gazrilla is just 48. It's the quest to get the Gong that's 50, because you have to go to places where there's level 50 elites. So I was worried. I mean, we wiped on the first boss. If that's the DPS we have on the first boss, what kind of DPS are going to have on a 50 plus boss? But when I realized it was 48, it was fucking easy. Easiest boss of my life. Benaya? Who knows? But it's a warrior to help me with elite ogres in Alterac. Now in Alterac, there's the stronghold. It's got a bunch of elite ogres in it. You go there mostly to kill 1 elite ogre, and then like 15 of 1 specific ogre. Yeah, there's just like, you know, the casual alliance fort, whatever. And there's in there, and pretty much only in there, do these specific elite ogres spawn. There's a literal city full of ogres that are the wrong type of ogres. Only that specific type of ogres needed for that quest, and it's in there. So Benaja just happened to be one of the people that I happened to do the quest with. It wasn't anything in particular. I don't remember very much problems other than pulling too many at once and then perishing to the massive elites, which happens. You happen to have that situation happen to you sometimes. I do remember something about a rogue from that same quest. We'll see if we can find him in this list. Betty Boo is a nice healer for Razorfin Crow run. It's the same run I was talking about here. Don't remember much about the healer. The healer was actually one of the least talkative people in that run. The paladin and the DPS priest were actually a couple or something that were really talkative, and then there was a mage. We'll get to that mage. I'll tell you more about that mage. You'll want to know more about that mage. Trust me on that one. Rogue, quit the lame run in Razorfin Downs at the start. Should have just said smart person. No, so this lame run was basically, like I said, limited by the fact that people just didn't have enough time, so they didn't do everything in there, so that's why I called it lame. But it started off with 2 rogues, and since they did tell me ahead of time that they were limited by time, I said, why don't we just go to the last boss first, and then we'll see what we can do afterwards. So we did that, and we pulled the first fucking set of mobs, and chaos ensues. I get a frost nova to one place, everyone fucking AoEs everything, and they attack everything. There's a caster constantly summoning more mobs. They're killing the healer. The rogues are just sitting there staring. It's just chaos ensues, and we die literally on the first back, and they're like, what the fuck is happening, guys? And one of the rogues just never came back from that. just went offline, and we never saw from him ever again. And that was Balzac, which is basically Ballsack, but just nicely written. Great. Fucking great. Great fucking party members I get, don't I? Anyway, that was that. We did finish that run. We replaced them with a hunter, I think. It took some time to come over, and then we went the other way, and everything went sort of fine, I think. Boxy! Boxy! Oh, I remember Boxy. It's a warrior in Searing Gorge. So this was pretty recent, I think. As recent as this week, really. I started questing in Searing Gorge, and Searing Gorge is one of the best questing areas. It's like on par with Ungoro. You walk in there, there's like 5 quests immediately that tell you go kill like 20 of everything ever that existed, and it just goes on from there, and everything's just right there. You just walk in and kill everything that ever existed. That's Searing Gorge. Cue me killing a bunch of underground basilisks that have been set on fire by the overflowing magma that's next to the mountain that we happen to be at. And Boxy comes in and sees me and is all like, hey, want to kill these basilisks together? And I'm all like, fuck yes, I want to kill them together. These fuckers are tough to kill by myself. So we join up and we absolutely decimate everything in our path. Turns out Boxy also started pretty recently, so we basically go on an endless rampage of a charging, whirlwinding madness through every single fucking enemy we encounter. Everything dies in our path, we complete everything. I show him off where to get all kinds of quests that he didn't know about. Well, he knew about them, but he missed them somehow. I don't know. Look, it's complicated. The point is, I added him to my friend list, which is not a thing I did with many people, because it was that good of an experience playing together. We even tried to do the big boss elite, but failed horribly. Unfortunately, 2 warriors were not meant to be. That's why next day I brought 4 warriors. But I'll tell you about that later. Caesar the mage that helped me with ogres and Feralas. So this one is pretty straightforward. I was questing with another person, which we'll probably find down the list, in Feralas, and at some point we finished our quests, and I asked him, do you need some ogres? And he said, yeah, I need a few, and went to the ogres, and we found a group of 3 people killing the ogres, so we joined up and we fought the ogres together in a team of 5. Yeah, it was just a really nice group. We killed all of the necessary ogres. I needed the most ogres. They helped me out, so they get a green color in the list. Like, what else do you fucking need? After that, I asked if anyone needed Yetis, and everyone said, we already did Yetis. I wouldn't even blame them if they lied about that, because holy god, that one of those Yeti quests was a pain. I'll tell you more about when we get the other people, but yeah, at this stage it was just wrapping up. One thing I've noticed, that will come up later, is as I was doing the ogres, I noticed a very particular bug, and it was that in the southern part of those ogre compound, a tree fell from the sky. You know, one of those walking treants. That was the weirdest thing. I thought, oh, what the hell is going on? I must be lagging or something. Well, I'll tell you all about that. Alright, Chadley, a hunter that helped with escort quest in Felwood. In Felwood, there's this place called Jadenar, and there's this place called whatever the fuck it's called, I don't give a shit, but it's far away from literally everything, and it pisses me off. So this place, it pisses me off for short, has a bunch of quests that lead to Jadenar, which is halfway across the map of that zone. And when you do something there, you go back given the quest, it sends you there again. And you do it there, you get some other quest there, and you go back, and it sends you there again. If you do it wrong, you could probably have to run this run 5 times. But even in the best case, you need 2 to 3 runs. And depending on, you know, how everything times, you have to clear everything forward and backwards. And it's a real pain. But, you know, that's classic WoW. It's part of its charm, like I said. Still, I'm never going to Felwood ever again. Other than, like, for enchantments or something. No. Long story short, the first time I went down into the depths of Jadenar, I got the item which unlocks the escort quest. It's a key that drops from the mobs there. And I specifically didn't start the escort, but kept doing the other quests that I was there for. And a paladin and a hunter, Chadley, passed by, and I saw them going towards the cage. And I said, hey, invite me for the quest. And they invited me for the quest. And that's how the adventure started. Now, unfortunately, Chadley only stayed with me for one part of this quest, whereas the paladin stayed for the entire thing. So I'll tell you more when we get to the paladin. Chainfield. Priest, help me with Goblin Escort in Desolus. Desolus is a desolate place. What the fuck is a Goblin Escort in Desolus? This is why I started, it's because I need to figure this out, otherwise I will never remember it. I know there's like the Goblin Caravans, but I know it's not that because I did them by myself. Goblin Caravans, I basically alt-tabbed and waited till they started. Okay, I remember now. Okay. There is another escort of a goblin inside the Centaur camp. Right next to the Maraudon entrance, there's one goblin in a cage, and I saw this priest that was really high level, obviously going to Maraudon, and I said nothing to him because he was killing random things. I stood next to the goblin, looked at him, and he continued to kill mobs. So I thought, okay, clearly he's not interested. But then he noticed me starting the quest. He's all like, are you doing the Goblin Escort? And I'm all like, man, like, you saw me stand right next to him, and you didn't speak up. Surely you wanted, if you wanted to do it. But no, it turned out he's a nice guy. He's just like, hey, I'll just help you out and kill all the mobs for you while I wait for my group to come over. So that was really nice. Absolutely decimated like a 4-pack of centaurs that popped out of nowhere towards the end, and he was like I said, he was like 55 or more, so it's way higher level than the mobs, which were less than 40 probably. I probably would have died there, so that was nice. So I gave him a bunch of potions. Those potions probably sucked for him. He probably had like potions to give like 3 times the mana. I didn't care. I gave him some potions. He didn't say anything though. He's not a very talkative guy, but you know, he helps people out. Chipper the priest helped me with rescuing dragon ogres in Feralis. So remember, like right here 3 guys ago we had Caesar, and now we talk about Chipper. Now, small interjection. Balls is looking for one tag in Zul'Farrak. Balls is still level 45, guys. I'm level 59. I clearly have no life. These guys are just not leveling as fast as anything else. Back to the point. So Chipper was this priest. So it all started with rescuing dragons ogres. There was supposed to be a comma in there. Commas save lives sometimes. Not in this case. In this case, you just save a lot of thinking about what the fuck is going on. It all started with me doing this quest that was kind of far off in Feralis to save the dragons. I do this quest, and I fail miserably because I have no idea what I'm doing. And I walk back up to wait for the quest to respawn, and the priest comes over and says, hey, I tried it just right before you started, and I failed horribly too. I said, well, let's try together. Maybe we can do it too. And what do you know? With the two of us, we managed to defeat this quest, which is basically open a bunch of dragons. Well, let's say dragons, but it's fairy dragons. If you played Hearthstone, it's the 2-mana card that can't be targeted by spells. Those type of dragons. Tiny fairy dragons. As soon as you do that, they get assaulted by an entire horde of encampment of, well, horde. By myself, I couldn't catch up with all the horde, and some of them ended up dying. But with the priest at my side, we absolutely decimated the entire village and kicked their asses, and I came out victorious. After that, we got a follow-up quest to kill the ogres. You'd think that it would be the other way around. You kill the ogres first, then you free the fucking dragons. No. This is WoW Classic. We free the dragons first, kill a bunch of ogres doing that, then come back, and then kill some more ogres. I say ogres because it's in here, but actually it was Tauren, not ogres. What the fuck? Point being, we kill all the Tauren, we get the follow-up quest, and then that's when I asked him, do you need some ogres? And he said, yeah, I need a few. And that's when we formed up the party with Caesar and some other dudes that I'm sure will pass through. So that's the story of Feralas, and I don't think there's anything else to say about that one. Sir Halcyon, yellow. Druid, nice healer, Nomrigan. I don't believe that. I must have accidentally made him yellow without thinking. He's actually a really cool guy. Definitely worth agreeing. This is 100% an accident. I 100% remember what happened because it was one run of Nomrigan. I obviously didn't remember much of Nomrigan, so I picked up a guide and led one of the most beautifully led runs I've ever led through anything other than today's Morning Sunken Temple. Today's Morning Sunken Temple transcended everything. It was like I was fucking quantum leaping through that fucking instance. But Nomrigan, up till that point, was the best run I ever done. We literally got every single quest done, every single objective, all in order, all bosses. It didn't even take that much killing trash extra. We even got the escort towards the end. So the only thing that was happened was obviously we had 100 in a group, so we wiped on the final, you know, area of Nomrigan where the pet just randomly pulled half of the tunnel and we couldn't handle half of the tunnel all at once. But other than that mishap, we only wiped one more time, and we didn't really wipe. Only the healer and I died actually on the very last pack of mobs because they just happened to all be ranged, and the healer just didn't notice he was attacked and he died instead of healing himself because they were all ranged and they didn't make any, like, you know, big noise. I don't know. And when the healer died, they all went to me, and they didn't get AoE'd in time, so I also died. It was really weird how that one specific run didn't go correctly. But other than that run, it was a really nice, really cool run. Other than that one, you know, incident. I remember, like, when we got to the instance, there was actually one person that died in that last pull as well, not just us two, one more. Yeah, I think the hunter died again. Yes, the hunter, of course. And as we're waiting for the hunter to make it to the instance, we just had a little bit of a chat. He's like, I'm so sorry, dude. Oh my god, I fucked up. This is the worst fucking healing that I've ever performed in my life. I'm gonna commit seppuku. I'm like, dude, it's okay, man. Like, you know, everyone makes mistakes sometimes. You can't beat yourself up over it. I mean, we had a whole fucking run. Didn't even fucking come close to die until this point. It's just an accident. And, obviously, we didn't have this specific exchange as I say it, but I think we meant it by the way we talked, and I think we understood it that way. Do mind you, Nomrigan is only part of a bigger story of with another person that was in that run, and I'll tell you more when we get there. Khan Dooku. Priest, help me with Elite Demon and Blasted Lands. This was also like 2 days ago, I think. I was doing an Elite Demon quest. It was a quest to just find what happened to one of fallen Horde heroes' lieutenants or something. I don't know. Turns out he was turned into a demon, but I forgot like where he was, and I was just randomly wandering in caves, which were roughly in my memory where it should be. By chance, a priest was there, and he said, "Hey, you're doing this quest?" And I'm all like, "Yeah." I just don't know where it is. I'm just going by my memory, and so like, well, it's right over here. Awesome. Yeah, I see it. Man, he's actually really hard to miss. It's a really big demon. That's all we did with him. We didn't do anything else because the next fucking quest led us to, unfortunately, Ajara, and I still have the continuation of that quest in my quest log, because obviously we're not going to go to Ajara at that time, but we probably should have, because that quest hurts. I tried it. I tried it by myself the following day. I made it all the way to, like, the part where you have to kill the Hydra, but the Hydra hits like a fucking giant. There's no way I can kill it by myself. I'm sure one day I'll get it. Corrode Blade. Warrior, help me with pirates and Stranglethorn. Alright, this one's pretty simple. Basically, I was doing the pirate quest, the final pirate quest to kill the pirate leaders. I think it was like literally some of the last quests I needed to do in Stranglethorn. And I met I think a mage and this warrior. And helped me kill it. I met them next to a second ship because they had already done the first ship, and after we grouped up, they helped me kill the first ship as well. So it was pretty nice. So I decided to put them in the list. Why not? Sidon, Druid, helped to kill an elite in Cerngorge right by flight path. Okay, I remember this. In this case, I was the one helping, but technically, he also helped me a little. So the way this worked is there's. But right at the start of Cerngorge, there's a quest right next to the flight path, but to get to the quest you have to go around because it's above the flight path in a sense, so you can't get to it unless you go around. But to go around the quest, you have to go through a literal camp of elite enemies. And right next to the quest there's like 10 of them stacked one on top of another. So that's fine, but to make matters worse, that quest, when you pick it up, the next stage of it is talk to the guy multiple times over and over and over, then give in the quest, then you'll get the actual quest. The intention here is obviously you clear all the elites and then you talk to the guy. Fuck that shit. What I did, I was fucking running right past them and spam click to accept the quest, then run away and reset them by jumping down to the flight path or close nearby. And then repeat this process over and over again until I talk to him enough times, and I've also completed the quest and picked up the real quest. I think I died once. Unfortunately, one of the attempts they managed to dismount me and daze me, so I didn't survive that one. But I did manage to pick it up on the third try, I think, and yes, can you guess what the quest is? It's to get a drop from elites. Now the mod that I had installed at the time, the quest mod, says 100% chance to drop. So I kill one elite mob, and it drops. It literally drops at the first mob. Now, as I was killing it, this druid Sidon was right next to me, because I picked one away from the camp, and he was sitting on the edge of this camp, and he helped me kill it. So since he helped me kill it, and the item dropped, and I'm all like, well, he probably wants the same fucking quest that I do. Little did I know, actually he wanted an entirely different quest that's unrelated to this, that also drops from these exact same mobs. Also, I believe says 100% drop chance. I group up with him and say, you know, yeah, sure, I'll help you kill one mob, because I think, hey, it's 100% chance, so it'll drop from the first mob, right? We kill one mob, and that item drops. The next day I came back for that quest that I didn't have, but the druid did have. I killed like 30 of them before it dropped. 30! And let me tell you, killing them is a pain in the ass. If I didn't get like a crit and a proc or something at the right time, I could easily just die, because they would do too much damage. But hey, that's a story about other people. Let's move on. Cynic Magnus, a warrior, quested for some time in Stranglethorn. Beasts. Alright, so this is a guy that was in a guild called Old But Not Dead or something, or Old But Bold. One of these two. Basically, something like that. Basically, the implication is he's an old guy, he's just chilling in WoW, and he kind of played like a stereotypical old guy playing WoW. When it came to grouping, he played like your average derpy player of WoW, but when inside the group, he played like some old guy. I don't know how this works. We were doing the Elite Panther. After that, I asked him, what's your status on tigers and raptors? And he was one quest ahead on raptors, and he was behind me on tigers, because I've already finished tigers at that point. He just kind of leaves the group after that, because, you know, after we kill the panther, everyone's mad. I'm all like, would you like to do the raptors together? I need to kill, like, a few of them, and then I'll be on the same quest as you. And I tell him, I'll kill the raptors in a few minutes. And he's all like, wait a minute. Do you mean the raptors for your quest, or the raptors for my quest? Like, obviously I'm talking about raptors for my quest. Yeah, I'll kill them in a few minutes so that we can go on the same quest. I have a dialogue add-on, so I can just look up the specific things that we said, because I happen to have all of it stored. How's your raptor status, smiley face? Jungle stalkers? Ah, I still need a few lash tails, but after that, we could do it. Smiley face with cheeky tongue. If you have time. If no, then no problem, smiley face. Don't know yet. Maybe. If you can send me whisper when you can. I'll kill 3 raptors in like 2 minutes. Smiley cheeky face. Is that the jungle stalkers? I'm lost now. Don't know what you're talking. Now dude, I need 2 lash tails. Sorry, 3 lash tails. Then I will have jungle stalker quest. Oh yeah, first that one, then stalkers. Okay, I'll wait for you. I'll do tigers while waiting. This is what I'm talking about. This was the exchange. But when we were in the actual party, it was pretty normal, so fuck knows what the hell's going on through this guy's head. Darnex, Hunter, great party in Wailing Caverns. So Wailing Caverns was the first dungeon that I hosted. I don't remember if I had done Dead Mines yet. I actually don't remember if Wailing Caverns was the first dungeon, or did I do Dead Mines and then I went to do Wailing Caverns in the following weekend. But it was the first dungeon I hosted. It was in the morning of Saturday. I went to the Barrens and I did some quests, killed some pirates, did some fishing, got myself some bottles of rum from the wreckage next to the pirates, and said, okay, it's time to do Wailing Caverns. Fortunately, nobody wants to do Wailing Caverns, especially in the Saturday morning, so I started whispering literally every single fucking person. That's the only time I've done this, because I didn't need to after that. But for that specific dungeon, I whispered literally everyone in the fucking zone and said, hey, you want to do it? Hey, you want to do it? Only one priest responded, and he said, yeah, I can heal, though I'm kind of shit at everything. That's their words, not mine. And let me tell you, they were not shit. If that is shit, give me the diarrhea, man. I need it. Anyway, after I got the priest, I started asking for other people to join, and I went to Ashenvale, actually, which is north of the Barrens, and I asked people around there, because there was no one else left in the Barrens that I hadn't fucking asked. And that's where I started I started up really weird. It's like, looking for more people, Wailing Caverns in the Barrens. Join now for free rum. Because I had just caught some rum while I was fishing. I'm all like, yeah, fuck it, I'll bribe people with literal rum. One person joined, but nobody else joined after that, and eventually I stopped saying about the rum, and then more people joined. The moral of the story is, nobody wants rum in the morning, you motherfucker. And just invite people normally. Well, I don't know, it was pretty cool, I guess. We cobbled together 2 warlocks, Hunter, priest healer, and me as a tank, and went on to Wailing Caverns. It was interesting. I didn't know what I was doing, kinda, because I was still, like, you know, first week of the game, basically, since forever. And the layout, I barely remembered, if at all. And we missed one boss, so we had to go back again. Things like that. Now, namely, after we did kill the last boss, you're supposed to do an escort of the torrent at the start, and he'll take you all the way through the instance to the actual last boss. But at least one warlock had to go. The other warlock decided to just go offline instead of telling us anything. I'm sure we'll find him in this list. So I was left with the Hunter, Darnex, and the priest. The priest was also on a timer because I believe she had to go eat food or something. I don't know. It's complicated. Who knows who was what there. So we went back, killed the boss that we missed, but we wiped along the way because we pulled too many mobs. There's only 3 of us, so we can barely kill anything, you know. One thing led to another. The priest has to go. And she says, like, well, if you guys don't mind waiting, I'll just go quickly eat and then we can continue afterwards. I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. Because this is like the first week of WoW. Imagine that happening to you. Like a party that doesn't fall apart and stays together no matter what. We agree, we go outside, we kill some elite mobs for a quest, go back in as soon as the healer is back, and we finish up the instance. We did end up wiping again towards the end because I foolishly pulled like every single ooze at one of the last boss phases. I thought I'd be fine, but I got destroyed. Because I thought these were not elite oozes, so I'd be fine, but I was not. So that sucked, but I fucked up there, basically. I learned from that. But I was fine. We still managed to survive long enough, at least the hunter did, to spawn the last boss. So we went back and we killed the last boss. And after that, we went outside of the instance and finished the same quest that we were killing the mobs before for the priest as well. Because she was behind on the quest items and stuff. And so, because of this, probably 5 hours long dungeon run, if you include getting the party together and doing all those quests. God, that was fucking amazing. This is what I joined the game for. I added those people to the friend list, but they leveled really slowly. I think that priest is still in the Barrens today, and it's been like a month. I saw the hunter level up at least a little bit too from time to time, but haven't seen him since, which is a shame. I really would have loved to do some more things. David Blaine, the mage that helped me through Lochmadan. Those were the days. This was also in the early parts. Obviously Lochmadan is a low level area. So I started questing there, and once again I see a mage, because there's always a fucking mage. There's never been a situation where you go and do some quest and there's not a mage doing it already. So I say, hey dude, want to do this together? And he's all, yep. And we start doing it together. And we keep doing it. We keep giving in the quests. We keep chatting up about this thing. More people join our party. We complete all the quests right next to the start of the zone. I think it's just to kill a bunch of gnolls, then to kill a bunch more gnolls, then to kill a bunch more gnolls, then to kill big bad gnolls. Hilarity ensues as you go there, because one of the times I literally took the wrong turn and ran into the boss and his lackeys and got massacred by myself. After that we went to the quarry and did the quarry quest. In there we got like along the way we picked up a hunter. I don't think I've added this hunter to the list because I didn't have this add-on installed yet at that time. And David Blaine was the only person I added to friends. I don't know. I guess because the hunter joined halfway, so it doesn't count or something. But David Blaine also didn't play much. It seems like maybe he has maybe this was just a low-level alt or something. But I think he's like level 30 now or something. More hilarity ensues as we're doing crocolisks. And I'm looting all the crocolisks and then skilling them. And they're respawning so goddamn fast. I can't keep up. I have to keep skinning and looting, and I can't even get a hit in because by the time I finish skinning and looting, the next one's already dead. And more respawn further on, so they keep killing and I keep looting, and my inventory eventually got full. So I'm looking through my inventory. I wonder what I should get rid of. Oh, what's this? Crocolisk meat. Fucking worthless. Get rid of this shit. Quest counter goes from, like, almost done to 0. Oops. I confessed to my mistake instead of trying to pass off like I'm getting terrible drops or something. They probably had a laugh at my expense. But thankfully crocolisk meat isn't a quest item, so they had some extra and they just traded me some, and we moved on. I believe the last thing we did was the elite ogre quests. We need a kind of full party for that. I think we got like a level 28-ish person to help us, and my level was the lowest. In fact, I got the quest to kill the big bad ogre like 3 pulls before we actually got to him, by dinging and then being shared the quest, because I was too low level for that place. I kept pulling fucking aggro and stuff like by my level, you know, just pass by an ogre and they're all like, low level enemy, and they keep attacking me, and it was crap. Definek, Paladin, high DC rate while questing in the hinterlands. Also Daenerys. These two can go and the same one sentence because they were from the same group. There was one more, and as you can see, it's a warrior. I'm a warrior. This is a paladin, and we had another warrior. And this was a group I cobbled together to do the elite stuff in Hinterlands, which is getting the mallet, and doing the ancient egg thing from Jintra lore, and freeing something beak. I don't remember. Spring beak? That doesn't sound right. Look, it's a fucking griffin. To free a griffin and get their papa and mama to take him home, something like that. Silverbeak, maybe that's the one. Who knows? Anyway, so this was a warrior who was tank spec from the very beginning. Apparently, he's going ultra hardcore. I'm just leveling spec. You know, I'm basically DPS with as much rage as you can get from just pushing normal buttons, so I can literally destroy every mob in existence when I start attacking them. This was a broad warrior through and through. The paladin, I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but everything went well until we got the egg. Well, by well I mean, I think only one of us died once or twice along the path. We absolutely decimated the Mallet sisters, which I tried before by myself, and it ended horribly badly, so this was very nice. Yeah, with these guys it was no problem. One of them was a little bit chargy. I'm not sure. I don't think it was the tank, it was the other warrior. Anyway, the other warrior had also the quest to save the griffin. The paladin and this warrior didn't. They only had the quest for the ancient egg. We somehow managed to make our way in there, with paladin throwing a heal every now and then when he feels like it. We deal with the altar, we get the mallet, and we start making our way towards the egg. And thank goodness, a pack of horde arrives and starts clearing our way for us, basically, so we get pretty much a free pass at the egg while they kill the elites. Perfect timing. If they didn't arrive, I don't think we actually could have made it without the paladin going full healing. And right after that, he disconnects. I don't know, it could have been a legitimate disconnection. Yeah, after the first disconnection, he comes back, he like resets the modem or whatever the fuck, I don't know. He disconnects again, dies while he's disconnected, then reconnects, and suddenly he's in Feralas. I'm like, what the fuck happened, dude? Like, he disappeared from the party, I did a who with his name, and he's like, he's in Feralas, guys. What the fuck is he doing in Feralas? I don't fucking know, but by golly gee, that was weird. And at that point, we didn't have a healer, or anyone that could heal, so it's a good thing that we had finished with everything by then, and that, you know, Horde was there to make sure we didn't die when our healer disconnected with the egg, you know, because that's what would have happened. Demotion. Hunter, nice run of Nomagon. It's an interesting one because it was another group that I put together myself. Like I said, it was a very nice run, one of the best runs I've ever done. Only wiped once because of this Hunter's pet, which he aptly named Wipe. I even joked about it. Haha, Wipe made us wipe. One thing about him was that he went AFK at the entrance while we were waiting for one of our people to arrive. I thought, motherfucker, dude. Why would you go AFK at this crucial moment? And he said he'll just be gone for a minute. He was gone for like 5 or more, and thankfully he did return pretty much a minute after the person got to the instance. So that was really nice. Well timed. Didn't have any other problems with the guy though, so the first impression that he gave, especially being very low level compared to us, were very misleading. Divine Priest. Priest healer, very nice high level older man. This was the older man that I said where the healer started complaining about running out of mana towards the end. Yeah, so this was the guy. Other than that, no problems obviously. It's just an older man run. What could possibly go wrong? Dia, warrior, helped we starting off with Strangletorn. Don't I mean me? As I went off into Strangletorn, once again I picked up a bunch of quests at the camps, and most of these quests were to kill Curzon dudes and stuff. I saw some parties already there doing stuff, but this warrior, she was dual wielding and killing dudes, and I said, well, why not? I'll try to invite her to the party. We finished the quest, and then she went sort of semi-AFK at the camp. And I don't remember if she then later came back and we went to finish off the quest. I think so. I think what basically happened was while she was AFK, I was doing all these other quests, like kill low-level panthers, kill the crocolisks, kill the... what else is there to kill? Fucking strangled or tigers. She eventually came back, and then we got some more party members, and we did pretty much the entire Curzon chain, all the way to the end. I think so, at least, but could be wrong. This was a really long time ago at this point. I could check the logs, but, I mean, who cares? I mean, it's fine either way, right? Isn't it? She helped me with some quests. Valen helped me with Elite Quest in Arathi. Don't confuse it with Alterac that we talked about earlier. Arathi quests are the Stormguard Keep, I believe. Stormguard Keep is filled with all kinds of baddies. And, Dwalin helped me out. It was one of the paladins. I think the quests we were talking about were to get Falcon Crest and Odo's head, and also to collect a bunch of tags. At least that's what I assume was what we were doing. It's possible that he was there also for the Ogre Tower quest, where you have to go into the tower and loot a bunch of things inside of it, but I don't remember that one. I do remember that at some point the loot was set to free for all, and I was melee, so I looted literally everything. So I was the first one to finish the quest, and then I had to quest with them for another like 20 minutes or something for them to get all those fucking tags and shit. Also, killing Odo and Falcon Crest was really, really hard for some reason. We just didn't have enough damage, I guess, or healing, or tanking would end up destroying us, but we did do it eventually. Echo! Mage helped me kill 4 bogs in Northern Felwood. Okay, so this was a mage that was grinding reputation for full bogs, and I come in and I'm killing mobs, and he starts killing mobs right next to me, and for some reason all the mobs start running towards me. I have no idea why, but I fucking invite him immediately, because like, otherwise who knows, maybe he won't even help me. But he did. He was just AoE grinding those mobs, and he helped me get all the kills for the quest, which weren't that many. It's, you know, 6 of each type, and then we parted ways. Adeline, the druid healer, for a very nice Stockades run, added to friends because she added me to friends. Apparently this is her alt. She mains on a PvP server. I don't know what the hell she's doing in the PvE one. Maybe she got tired of being ganked or something. Anyways, it was a long time ago. We never played ever again. She was the only person leveling at similar to my pace, and she was always about 3 levels higher than me. All the way from Stockades. Like, I was doing Stockades at 25, she was like 28 or something. She dinged 60, I dinged 57. It's like spot on, just 3 levels behind. Anyway, nothing in particular to say about her. She was just a nice chatty healer, trying to convince me that I need to go and farm Scarlet Monastery. That my life, when I will be level 30 to 40, will be spent right next to the fucking Western Plaguelands, killing those darn cultists. Fuck no. Literally only did one of each instance once and never did Graveyard. I did the questing route, because I want a quest. That being said, she is from a PvP server, so I guess in the PvP server that makes a bit more sense. I got invited to tank the Dire Maul. First invite to tank something in fucking 30 levels. I'll talk about the last invite that I got, which was to tank Scarlet Monastery, actually. Topical, yes. Yeah, but that will be much later with another character in mind. Elfena, a warrior to help me in Chartwell in Stonetown. Now that's an old beauty. So I mentioned the quest in Razorvan Crow for warriors. One part of it is in Chartwell. And a lot of things happen in Chartwell, and stay in Chartwell. Especially in PvP servers. Thankfully I'm not in a PvP server. But at the same time, that place is crowded with people, and I had to fight mob after mob to try and get the quest items to drop. And again, an interesting thing happened. She accidentally, I assume, pulled an elite mob in there. I saw this and I thought, well, she's probably gonna die. I'll help her out. Biggest mistake of my life, because I fucking died instead, and she survived, but I was fine. Then we joined up and finished all the quests in there that we happened to have at that time anyway. Turns out I didn't have all the quests. Turns out that probably was a good thing, because the drop rate for those quests is so shit anyway. It's better to literally do them in a different zone. Like, don't question it. Estragon. Remember how I said I did Sunken Temple this morning? Well, that wasn't the only thing I did. I also happened to wake up really early because of DST time changes. DST time switched this night, and as a result, I woke up an hour earlier, which was right before 6 server time at the time. So I decided, oh, you know, I'm in Stranglethorn by chance. Why don't I go to Gurubash Arena? And this is the answer why you don't go to Gurubash Arena. Because a level 60 mage goes to Gurubash Arena and kills you in 4 hits. And there's literally nothing you can do. Well, at least it was a fair battle, you know, one-on-one. I actually had a fucking strategy because I saw that level 60 mage in the who list, so I thought I'd prepare. Also saw a few warlocks, so this was my strategy going in. I'm going to try to avoid fighting to let the mage get engaged with somebody else. And while the mage is busy trying to deal with somebody else, I'll swoop in and kill the mage, or at least try to anyway, which probably would have failed anyway, because it's a fucking mage, mate. But you know, it was something. I thought that would work. Unfortunately, what actually ended up happening was nobody came immediately. I was there at the start by myself. I started opening the chest. The mage fucking pops in out of nowhere, sheeps me, hits me. I managed to charge into the mage, but the mage just blinks away and then just kills me with a follow-up attack. And that was the end. And that's why I don't like PvP. It's basically that, you know. Okay, certainly I could have approached it better. I think I could have done a few better moves there, but there's no way I was winning that battle, and that sucks. Hunter, very nice high level Uldaman. Honestly don't remember the guy, but obviously he was in the group with me when we're doing Uldaman, and he didn't suck, I guess. Probably the run with the priest that ran out of mana, I would guess. Fentana, the fabled run of level 59 thing. What can I say? He died twice. Yeah, so this was the warlock that ended up dying to the last boss twice. But otherwise it was a nice run. It was his party that he made. I happened to be leveling one of my alts, because I made an alt. Because, of course, it was early in the morning, no one was there to do anything. I thought I'll lurk in looking for group and level some low-level alt while doing it, so I don't waste time. And then I see you need to tank for Sunken Temple. Well, actually it started off with looking for more for Sunken Temple. Then another mage said looking for more for Sunken Temple. Then this warlock said looking for healer, tank, and DPS for Sunken Temple. Then he said looking for tank and healer Sunken Temple. And then finally he said looking for tank Sunken Temple. I thought, man, that was quick, because this happened relatively quick in quick succession. I was just kind of, you know, thinking if he's serious and he writes a few more messages, I'll join up. And it was a bit of a lie there. He never got to the part where you just needed a tank. He got to the part where he needed a tank and healer. So I join up on my level 6 alt and I'm all like, hello guys, I'll be your tank for today. I'm level 6. The mage inside is like, but you're level 6. I'm all like, don't worry about that. And then by some odd coincidence, they immediately get a healer and I relog and then we had to run. It was fun. Fabletics, a rogue to help me with elite quest in Arathi. So this is again the quest to kill Falcon Crest, Odo, and to get the Stormguard badges. There were 2 rogues in that quest. This one was the leader of the group who made it, and I joined that group, and like I said, it was free for all, and got all the items, and then helped this guy out, and then for some reason at the end he invited another guy, so we ended up doing it all over again for another rogue, but I guess the rogue did help with auto, so it's fine. Theron, rogue, farms Black Fathom Deeps, did 2 runs in 2 days with him. Seemed like an interesting character, so basically I did Black Fathom Deeps with him. The next day I come in online and I joined a looking for group channel, and guess what I see? The same fucking rogue looking for another group. I didn't know at the time. He recognized me actually, because in the first run I was a DPS, and in the second run I actually tanked, I think. I remember in the first run with this guy, the classic happened where we had someone basically touch all the torches at the same time and pull everything, and we died. In the second run when I was tanking, thankfully that didn't happen. So that's nice. Floralis. Oh, about a nice run of Zul'Farrak for Gazrilla. Just a random paladin. Nothing special about him. He's obviously DPS, otherwise I would have written his spec here. Don't recall any problems. Fluffy Warrior. Great first run of Zul'Farrak. This was the warrior from the run with the paladin healer that, like I said, had a very weird invitation that I enjoyed and I joined. He was also the DPS that left after the healer left, but, well, you know, he's a warrior, so that's permitted, because that means more gear for me. Futivdish, a rogue from the lame run in Razorfen Downs. So, again, that was the run where we wiped on the first pack. He was one of the people that actually was really time constrained, so... Lame run! I hated that run. That's why I had to do another run immediately afterwards, to wash the lameness out of my system. Fressy, help this guy in Teldrassil with Sapphire in the cave. Like I said, I did all the quests in every zone. I was like level 20 at the time, and I was doing Teldrassil quests because I didn't want to miss out on any chains or whatever, just in case. And I met this level 8 guy, and he just invites me to a group, and I'm all like, well, you shouldn't invite me to the group, you'll get like no XP or something because I'm high level. And it's like... okay, I just need some help to find the Sapphire, because there's a quest to find 4 gems, and he couldn't find it, and I told him where to find it, and that was it. And then he left the group and almost died on the way out, and then died at the entrance somehow. Well, it was weird. I don't know. I don't even know what class he was, because again, at the time I didn't have the add-on, but I did have my log add-on, so I just added him from the log, and in the log, as you can see, it adds the server name. That's how you know it was added from the log. Frosty Balls. Decent SM library run. This is the same run that I was talking about with Rogue. Again, it was pretty decent, but nothing special. Nothing special at all. Frozen Stick. Oh, this is a good one. Mage Dennis the Menace in Razorfen Kraul. When I joined the Razorfen Kraul group, it was the priest and paladin couple, and this mage, and then another priest joined later. The way it turned out was that I got there second. The first person to get there was this mage, I think. And he didn't have the quest, because he was too low level to get the quest for the last boss. That you get right down the lift from Barrens to the Thousand Needles. So we go down the left, he picks up the book. You can pick up the book even if you're low level, you just can't start the quest. And before we get there though, like I said, watch out for the Horde. This fucking crazy mage just starts killing the PvP NPC. Gets himself PvP flagged, doesn't give a shit. We come back up, and we go to the entrance, and at the entrance... there's like a horde party just waiting for a group. And he starts to go like fucking chicken mode at them. Just dancing around them, doing chicken. Thankfully the horde does nothing, and I just tell them, you probably shouldn't do that. If they attack you, I'm not gonna help you. I don't want to kill the horde. I'm here to do an instance run, not to fucking wage war. So eventually we get inside the instance anyway, to... I don't know, wait for other people inside or something. And one of the people says, wait, why does he have PvP on? And I say, I don't fucking know, this guy's crazy. He just like dance around the horde taunting them. And then he goes like, what, I have PvP on? I didn't think he could attack me, dude. I was just dancing around with chicken thinking I'd be totally fine. Dennis the Menace, man. Dennis the fucking Menace. Yeah, and throughout the run it was, you know... classic AoE mage shenanigans. Something to get used to these days, I guess. Georgina, mage, help me with Princess in Arathi. Alright, so there's a quest to kill the Princess in Arathi. It's a level 50 quest that is an end of a really long chain that goes through multiple areas in Arathi, and then in Badlands, and then back to Arathi. A mage was looking for a group for it, and I joined it, and I don't know if it was this mage or a different one, but another mage joined. That's why I don't know which one it was, but the other mage was level 60, and the three of us went and conquered the princess. Barely. I basically almost died towards the end. I was like 100 hit points left, hiding behind a pillar from all the elementals that pops out of nowhere when you fight her. Anyway, we did New Year down, and it was good. Dijivik. Paladin, help me with quest in Velvet, Shadowhold. I believe this is the Paladin, though I could be wrong, that was with me throughout the entirety of the Velvet quests. Well, we'll see if I have mistaken identity or it's the correct Paladin as we go down the list. I asked him to invite me for the group in the escort. We do the escort. The hunter leaves after we're done, and the Paladin stays, and we stay together for the rest of the quest, which is to kill... For him, it was just to kill the succubus, but he stayed for me as well to kill the big leader or something, and 2 more succubi deeper inside the instance. They were actually just killed by somebody, so we had to wait like 10 minutes. Another hunter joined. A different one this time, a higher level too. Another 1 more person, I don't remember the class. And we did that. And on the way out, we did the escort again for the hunter to join and the other person, because they hadn't done it. They were there for the other things. Yeah, so that's what I said. It's like going forward backwards, and depending on which quest you get and don't, you may have to make a lot of visits to the damn place. So he stayed all the way through to all of that shit. Really nice guy. Hopefully it's this guy and not the other one. Maybe the Paladin was one of the people that joined instead. We'll find out. I actually get the feeling that was the case, but we'll see. Himmancallus. Hunter, help me with ogres and Feralas. Yeah, this was another one of those people that joined me in the Feralas quests. I think the last one was a warlock, but I don't know. Nothing special about the guy. Just like I said, help me finish the quest. Head Chef. Mage, nice Gnomeregan run. So again, this is from the perfect Gnomeregan run. Already covered it pretty much, with except 1 note, but that will be with the final member of that team. Heals. Priest Healer, nice run of Zul'Farrak for gas. Again, the final run that went nicely. No one left. Nothing bad happened. It was just Zul'Farrak. Health. Druid Healer, nice SM Armory and Cathedral. So this is the druid that joined my group after I had joined it. So, like I said, after I did SM Library with some low-level dudes, I come out, I see a bunch of people, they need a tank and healer. I say, hey, I'll tank for you. They invite me, and we waited a bit and we got Health, the druid healer. And he came over, and then we did Armory and Cathedral. It was a really nice, smooth run. I don't think anything bad happened. But then again, I could be repressing my memories. You never know. Holy Bubbles. Well, a nice group in Razorfen Crowl. So this is Paladin DPS of the couple that I was referring to in the Razorfen Crowl group, where we had the Dennis the Menace Mage, and 2 priests, and this guy. Already talked about him. Not much else to add to that one. Hunter Gore. Hunter, help me with Overseer Elite and Searing Gorge. Did other quests afterwards. Right, so this one is interesting. Like I said, I did a lot of quests. It was Boxy? I think it was Boxy, yeah. With Boxy in Searing Gorge. But we failed to kill the Elite, and I hadn't had all the other Elite quests then yet. So eventually I decided it's time to do Overseer and other Elite quests like Rise Obsidian and stuff. So this hunter was one of the people that joined the group. I actually joined a Warlocks group, and then I saw a hunter that was doing this stuff, and I said, hey, you want to join? And he said, okay, and he joined, and then we did it together with a few other people. This hunter, however, stayed afterwards because since it seemed like a nice group and we were waiting for the Elite to spawn, I asked, hey, maybe you want to do not just the Overseer Elite, but also the other quests. Now, the Warlock had to go, so he didn't join us for the other quests, but Hunter was totally cool with it, except he was really, really borderline illiterate, and it took many efforts to get to him. In fact, the first time we invited him, he didn't even know how to get to us, so because we were kind of underground, so he found the area above the ground, and he didn't know how to get down. He got lost, so I had to go fetch him. Thankfully, the Elite had despawned throughout this entire time, so it didn't matter. And then, eventually, we got him. I died in the process of killing the Elite, a sacrifice that I had to make, but we killed it. And then the Warlock, like I said, left, and I was left with the Hunter, and I think another Warrior. The Warrior and I had the quest for Rise Obsidian, I believe. But the hunter didn't, but he had the previous quest where he just needed to go to Ironforge. So while he went to Ironforge, we, with the warrior, went and did some other elite quests to get the, at least for him, to get the drop of Ragnar or something. Some mage joined us for like a few kills until it actually dropped. And then we got the hunter to go back to Ironforge and back to Searing Gorge. And once again, he doesn't know how to fucking get down there, so I had to guide him again all the way through. The first time we went there, actually, I tried to guide him through the hole, and he fucking died on the fall because he didn't have full life. God damn it. But he did not die in the follow-up drops, so he learned. And that's the most important part. We go down, give him the quest, and now he needs the quest that's follow-up, which is once again go to the same goddamn elite camp, to the same goddamn elite place, in the middle of a lava pool, pick up an item, and then go back again. As we're doing this, we realize that he is also on the same quest that the warrior was, but the item had already dropped. Doesn't matter, we fucking finish the previous quest for him. He gives it in, gets the quest, we go and grind through and get the drop as well for the quest that we already got the drop for the warrior. Just for this hunter. And then finally, after that, we go and do Rise Obsidian. On the way, we pick up another 2 warriors, and that's why I said we had 4 warriors and a hunter on this group. And once again, I had to make a sacrifice. Now, the way this happened was someone gave me the quest. Someone gave me a quest a bit later, so a bunch of elites spawned all at once, and everyone died. In fact, at that time it was 3 warriors still, and 1 warrior, the last one, was just in a separate group. Well, not in a group even at all, he's just soloing, he didn't know what he was doing. So I invited him after, you know, we got absolutely obliterated by that elite army. Now the hunter feigned death, so he survived, but if you feign death for long enough, you actually die apparently. But he died too close to the elites. Well, feigned death too close to the elites, so if he unfeigned death, he would die anyway to the elites. So I had to pull the elites and reset them while he unfeigned deaths and runs away. I do this and run away, and the elites eventually reset, and what do you know? All the extra elites that weren't supposed to be there in the first place despawn, and we're left with just 1 pack, just by sheer luck. Well, no, actually, at that time it didn't happen. What happened was, I said, hey, you guys go also give in this quest, because why not? Like, you know, is two elites, 3 elites, 4 elites, who cares? Maybe something good will happen. And actually, after I did it again and they did that and gave in the quest, only 1 spawned normally as was supposed to happen. And then we tried to utilize the frost trap from the hunter, but literally a mob spawned on top of the trap and walked right into it. By sheer chance. So we changed our plan that the hunter will pull one of the mobs while we kill the other mob, and eventually either feign death or something, and the other mob will come back to us, but hopefully by the time he comes back we will have killed one of the mobs, so we'll only have to kill one of them at a time, which was the plan. It sort of worked, but I ended up dying along the way. Look, I'm not gonna go into the details, let's just say shit happens, and 4 warriors plus 1 hunter is totally a viable strategy. That's all I'm gonna say. After that, a few of the warriors remained, and we did another quest for the hunter to light the towers on fire. And that was it. That was the Searing Gorge adventure. Higetosen. Major nice run of Zul'Farrak for gas. We already covered this run, nothing special. Ibrahimovic, the Russian healer, priest. He had a mage with him or something, and as we were doing the graves inside Zul'Farrak, he just randomly went AFK with the mage or whatever, and well, let's just say we didn't die, and we finished clearing all of the graves and they still didn't return. So we started progressing a little bit forward slowly, but accidentally pulled a bit too much and then killed everyone. But then they did return, and we did finish the run normally. But yeah, they were all like, hey, you want to do another run? Dude, fuck no. Not after you went AFK for 20 minutes. Like, he said it was like something like his baby started crying or whatever, which, I mean, it's fine. You know, it happens, but I'd still say one of you could leave a message while the other ghost takes a look, and then you can both go take a look. I mean, you're doing stuff with people, right? You know, it's not like you're just playing Minesweeper by yourself when there's no stakes or anything. We're wasting people's time, goddammit. Least you could do, say, be right back. Even that would be fine. But no, just completely gone. Whatever. Happens. Oh yes. That's why he doesn't get green. Leroy, a very special Sunken Temple run that was. That was the Sunken Temple run I did for the first time, and we completed all the quests, or so I thought. And he was tanking and I was DPSing, and it was great. But they had no idea where to go. It started really weird because I joined and he started whispering me, dude, I'm sorry I have to replace you because I have a friend of mine that I promised to come to this run. I mean, we haven't started yet, so I said, okay, I mean, that's fine. Happens. What am I gonna do? Hold your party ransom or something, or whatever. It's whatever, okay, if that's what happens, that's what happens. I'll just make my own party. But then he says, yeah, okay, you know, if he doesn't come, you could stay. And then one of the party members asks, does anyone have Ancient Egg for her car? And I linked the Ancient Egg, and they're all like, oh yes, awesome. And the guy's like, oh, great. And as we get to the instance, it's all like, let's do Hakar first. Let's do Hakar first. It's like he really wants to do Hakar before we do anything else. But he has no idea how to get to it. So I'm all like, okay, well, if you want to do Hakar first, fine, but you're gonna have to get him yourself. Or at least ask me for help, goddammit. He goes off like completely in the wrong direction, has no idea where to go. And he's been there before, because he remembers like bosses and stuff. He just has no idea how to navigate the place. He just leads us to the lowest level instead of going to Hakar. To start doing the statues, you start like touching the statues. He has no idea what the fuck's going on. Eventually we do all the statues, get in the middle, kill the boss, and it's like, is this how you summon Hakar? Not like, no dude, if you want to go to Hakar, you have to go somewhere else entirely. And then he says, you lead the way, and then I lead the way. And you know, I'm not perfect, but at least we didn't get very lost with me in the lead. And we did do Hakar next, and by that point I guess he just didn't care anymore, and I never got replaced. We actually finished the instance. And at the end he said, good tank, you are a nice guy. I swear, what a strange person and strange interaction that was. But I guess that's what happens when you play World of Warcraft Classic. There's no way something like that would happen in retail WoW, and that sucks, because that's big part of what is cool about it. Paladin, very nice high level older man, so just a Paladin DPS in an older man run. Don't remember anything problematic about this guy. Isra, this is the priest that I was talking about in Wailing Caverns. That's still stuck in the Barrens to this day, because doesn't want to level a priest, I guess. And I can't blame him, because it's a priest. How fun could that be? Probably not very. Jacobolo, priest, nice, SM Armory and Cathedral. So this was a Shadow Priest. Very hard to keep aggro on Shadow Priest for some reason. Some of their spells just do absolutely ludicrous amounts of threat. It's like you could be unloading on the enemy and they would still pull aggro. Even a fucking dual wield warrior spamming heroic strikes doesn't do as much sometimes. It's ridiculous. Still a nice run though. No, not a big deal that they pull aggro every now and then, I guess. Jern Pels. Druid, help me with escorting dwarf in Darkshore. Okay, so this is a long time ago one. Again, I was doing quests in Darkshore. I was like level 28 or something. And there's an escort quest in Southern Darkshore where you escort a dwarf around whatever you would call it, a campsite, you know, and if you do that, he remembers that actually the thing he was looking for wasn't there in the first place. Blah blah blah. And yeah, you basically it's just a normal escort quest as you would expect. And I did it with this druid because he said, hey, anyone for this escort quest? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll join. And I joined them. And at the time I didn't know how escort quests worked in the party because I hadn't done any. And I learned that you get to accept with everyone else. So that was nice. Jim Hamstring, warrior tank, nice run of Brazifer Downs. That's what I was talking about. That was the warrior tank, so I must have been a warrior DPS in that run, and it was a nice run, not the lame run. It was the run where we did the escort and everything, and it was great, and it was cool. Jinka, rogue, Dennis the Menace, and Maraudon. So Maraudon was an interesting thing because I joined a group of a warrior and a priest that I had played a bit with before. We'll find them in this list, I'm sure. The other person that joined was a mage from a Zul'Farrak run, also in this list. And this rogue. And this rogue was just talking shit all day. He was popping Blade Flurry off the very beginning of the fight. Fucking pulling aggro of every mob in existence. And talking shit and everything. Of course, he was just being, you know, facetious. He wasn't being seriously an asshole. Which is why I just call him Dennis the Menace. Because the run was kind of fine, but the rogue was just annoying. In fact, after the run, the warrior and the priest went kind of AFK and after hearthing. And I realized I forgot to pick up the quest. And I went all the way back to the dungeon instance and all the way through the dungeon instance to pick up the quest. Thankfully I could use the shortcut using the Staff of Cerberus or whatever, so that wasn't too bad, and picked up the quest and said yay, I picked up the quest. And then the warrior came back from the AFK and he said, oh man, thanks for sticking around, but man, this fucking rogue was really fucking shit up, dude. God damn it. I reassured the guy. I mean, this is the best that you can expect these days, but he was still kind of sad, I guess. I hope he doesn't quit the game or something, or that. Catrinote, a mage that helped me with Ghosts and Wetlands. If you recall, at the very beginning I started to talk about the Ghosts and Wetlands, so this is another mage with those Ghosts and Wetlands. This specific mage, I think, just happened to be a mage that was passing by. I was fighting ghosts, and I was in peril, and he saved my life. So you're on the list. Keep going, Catrionet. Keep saving people. You're the MVP. Calaria is a mage from the Sunken Temple run of this morning. We already talked about that. Nothing else to add. Caldro. Hunter. Nice run of Olderman. Help me with quest after. So this was, I believe, the very first run of Olderman, in which I believe I was DPSing, but I can't say for sure. And one of the people was a hunter named Caldro, I believe. And we did all the quests for Olderman, but pretty much almost every quest for Olderman is goddamn outside. In fact, there's so many outside that I was doing them solo first, seeing as I was like 40 plus, and the mobs outside are kind of mid-30. Just gotta be careful not to pull too many mobs. In fact, one evening I was trying to get one of the elite mobs that spawns there killed, but Horde kept fucking killing it, so I just logged out in the middle of Olderman, logged in the next morning just to kill the mob when no one's there. Later, I did Olderman run, and this guy must have helped me with cleaning up all the quests outside, like, you know, collecting some mushrooms, collecting some tablets and all that shit. Pretty much all of that shit is outside for some reason, even though it's crammed with elite mobs, so received help from him, that's all. Clone Priest. Help me with Insane Druids and Ashenvale. Alright, so as I was wrapping up Ashenvale, there's one quest, one notoriously annoying quest, deep inside Ashenvale, to go through a forsaken, infested druid encampment that's underground. And all of those undead somehow turn invisible. Like literal invisibility, you can't see them, and they like to just randomly pop out and attack you. It's not like even like real stealth, they just literally appear out of nowhere, out of thin air. It's crazy, but that's how it works, because even with perception, I couldn't fucking see the things sometimes. So the first time I went in there, I got absolutely obliterated, so thankfully I found a priest right outside the area, and I said, hey, maybe by some chance you're doing this quest, and he says, yeah, I am. And I said, fuck yes, let's do it together. And we did it together. I think we also helped like another hunter to do it. And they joined about halfway. Kontaula. Mage, great first run of Zul'Farrak, great run of Maraudon. So this is the mage I was talking about that was in Maraudon. Nice little mage. I think he's a pretty new player. He never seemed to have done Zul'Farrak before. And the other mage from the first run in Zul'Farrak was kind of telling him how to do things, I remember. Teaching the guy, and it was really cool that I made a group with 2 people I already knew, and then this mage joined. So that was one of the coolest moments, and that Maraudon run was full run, so we did literally everything, so this was also really, really cool. Yeah, we did all the instance, outside of instance stuff. The rogue was far away because he was the last person to join. So I put a star on him, and he didn't notice for half of the run. And half of the run in, he says, "Hey, who put the star on me?" I'm like, facepalm. Just a random tidbit I remembered now. It was cool. Castrunix, nice healer of one man at whatever the fuck. Again, I don't really remember much about this. I don't think this is the healer that complained about the mana, so take it for what it's worth. Xanka, the mage that AFK'd for 20 minutes. Yeah, this was, if you recall, I was talking about a priest. So this was in the same party, the mage, which also AFK'd at the same time. But we did finish the run, so, you know, it's not all bad. Xal, Paladin, help me with Ogres and Feralas. So this is the last member of the group that I was talking about when we were doing Feralas. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing else special about the guy, he just helped me to finish some quests. Lethaniel, Paladin healer, graced first run of Zul'Farrak. So this is the Paladin that I was talking about, that was making a really spectacular invitation to run Zul'Farrak with him. And unfortunately he had to leave after killing basically the boss, right before the last boss basically. But thankfully he was replaced. I'm sure we'll find the healer that replaced him. Lily, priest, help me with Ogres and Stranglethorn. Great run of Maraudon. So this is one of the 2 people that I was talking about, a warrior tank and a priest healer, I think. Don't know why I didn't add the healer, but I guess it's not necessary as I remember. Maybe she wasn't a healer in that specific instance and only healed the Maraudon. That's a possibility. Anyway, yeah, they were just a really nice couple of players. Really chill, really relaxed, no problems whatsoever. A complete and stark contrast to that rogue, whatever his name was. Lixer, mage, nice run of Older Man at 47-48. Once again, Older Man, I did it so many times I don't remember, even though I only did it like 3 or 4 times. Lupo, help me with elites and hinterlands. So this is the last warrior of the ones that we were talking about when we were doing elite quests in hinterlands. The Mallet, the Ancient Egg, and Sharpbeak. That's the name, Sharpbeak. He was the only one that had the Sharpbeak quest, so after the Paladin disconnected, we kind of just ran away from all the elites into a corner and then slowly killed our way into the quest. Unfortunately, the other warrior forgot about this quest because he didn't have it and hearted away, and he was very, very sorry about it, but thankfully we only had to kill like 1 or 2 elites, so it wasn't a big deal at all at that point. Liam, nice mage, nice armory and cathedral. Nothing special about that, just, again, the same group that I talked about where I joined after doing library. Max, warrior, help me with Silithids in Tenaris. Yeah, so I was doing questing in Tenaris, and there's one quest there that features going to the Silithid area, and I just happened to run across a warrior there, and he invited me to group, and then we did the quest there together. Eventually another mage joined. It was really funny how we were like killing like a mob, and it kept spawning small dudes, and then another mob came and it kept spawning small dudes, and we're like getting overrun by these small dudes, and this mage comes out of nowhere and fucking Novas them all and instantly killing them all. It was really funny how that happened. Nothing else special happened with the guy. We just did a quest together, but it was nice. Magoon, mage, nice run of Razorfin Downs. This was the run in which I was not tanking, I believe, yes. So, again, we already covered it, nothing else special to say. Mejeri, Paladin tank, nice run of Older Man. No idea why he's yellow. Maybe he wasn't a very good tank. That's probably the case. But I mean, he's a Paladin, so you can't really blame him. That's just how Paladins are. Not very good tanks. in Classic. But yeah, it was the very first run, because that's where he was tanking and I was DPSing. Yeah, it all comes together, doesn't it? Mana region. Priest, help me with starting quest in Stranglethorn. So this was one of the priests that joined me for the Curzon quests in Stranglethorn, basically. Remember the Dia warrior? Well, this priest joined a bit later to do the quests in the cave mostly. Masa Uvu, hunter, help me with King Mukla. King Mukla is an interesting one because I did it in 2 days. First day I joined some druid and a warrior, I think, and no one else joined, and we were all too low levels, so we died and we went on our way. But then the next day, not literally the next day, but like a week later almost, I made another group with this hunter, and I thought, okay, I have in my logs the people that I was with in there. I'm gonna write to them and ask, hey, do you want to do it now, maybe, if you haven't done it yet? And both of them were online, and the warrior said, no, I haven't done it, but I can't really do it right now, but thanks. Thanks for remembering me. And the druid said, okay, yeah, cool, I'll come and do it with you right now. And he did. And since this time we had an appropriate level hunter, and I was also appropriate level, we did it easily. I think we also had a mage. Maximiano, priest, help him with escort while grinding. Let's add grinding Yetis in Feralas. Because I do remember this. I'm grinding Yetis in Feralas to try and get the quest item to drop. In total it took me easily 200 or 300 kills. Like literally farmed it for like 4 or 5 hours. Just a lot of that was in the morning while I was chilling and not giving a fuck in the weekend. But this particular guy was the evening before when I started farming. He joins me up and says, hey, can you are you here for this escort quest? I'm all like, no, I'm killing the Yetis to try and get it. And he's all like, okay, I'll help kill you the Yetis because I need the Yetis as well. Maybe it'll drop. Little did he know the drop rate is absolute horseshit, because like I said, you need to kill like 300 of them, something. That's not counting all the mobs that I've killed before in the damn instance. Like, legitimately, I wouldn't be surprised if I killed something north of 500 mobs total just to get that damn quest item. We killed the Yetis. Obviously he gets his quest complete way sooner than I'm done, and he's all like, well, I'm gonna go do the escort. And I'm all like, okay dude, you help me kill the Yetis. I mean, obviously you also needed the quest, but you've sped things up a little bit for me, so I'll help you with the escort. The escort wasn't there, so I said, okay, you wait here, pick up it as soon as possible. I'm gonna go right outside and kill the mobs there, so, you know, they don't interfere with the escort. And I can help you along the way. So he invites Warlock, I think, or something, to join the party. We, all three of us, go together and do the escort. Obviously I don't have the quest, so I just help them out. And everything goes fine, we kill all the mobs. I go back, continue farming for like another like 20 minutes. And eventually, as I farm, I get back to the place where the escort starts. And who do I see? Maximiano the priest is sitting there, and I'm all like, dude, did you fail? What are you? Why are you here? Why are you back? Apparently, he didn't pick up the quest properly, because you have to give in the quest and you pick it up, and he probably didn't manage to do it for some reason. That was funny. I didn't help him a second time though, but I did once again go and kill the mobs. I said to him basically, if you want help again, you can invite me to group. And he didn't invite me to group. He was like too embarrassed, I guess. I don't know. Melia, help me with giants and Stranglethorn the mage. Okay, this was very fun story. It was a pair of paladin and mage. So we killed a giant, which is one of the quests in Booty Bay, for Smut's treasure. But my memory started, my brain started activating. I'm thinking all the way back, and I think there had to be another giant in Booty Bay to kill for another quest for Smuts. I relayed this and go check it out to the other people after we're done with the first quest. And lo and behold, there is a giant. I look him up on the internet. I see, oh, he drops a quest item. So, hey, let's go do it. They're around level 50. The giant's level 50. I'm like 47 or something, so I'm pretty low, but, you know, I can still do something. So we join up, kill it, get the quest, give it in. Right. It gives us a follow-up quest to kill another giant. And to do this, you need to summon him using rum and buzzard wings. But not just any buzzard wings. Buzzard wings cooked with a recipe from the Badlands. And I just so happened to have finished Badlands recently and gotten that recipe. So they went, one of them went in all and said, oh, there's no cooked buzzard wings on the auction house. And I said, what about the raw ones? I can cook them for you. We just need to find a campfire. We found a stove in one of the houses and they gave me the buzzards. I cooked them and we summoned the giant. The giant's level 52. They were like, oh shit. But we persevere and we continue attacking and I end up dying because I can't take a 52 level giant. But the graveyard is right next to the area pretty much, so I run quickly back and thankfully still help intercept the giant before he dies. That was a little bit rushed, but the moral of the story was a really cool adventure in Booty Bay. Yes, yar. That was spawned by my memories and by the fact that I went to Badlands and got the fucking recipe, which if I didn't, they wouldn't have had because they didn't have any cooking themselves. So I really set off the day there with my incessant leveling of weird professions and whatnot. Hooray! I'm sure we'll find a paladin somewhere along the way here. Mikreen, paladin, helped with escort quest in Velvet, then helped me with quest inside Shadowhold. So no, so this is the paladin. So there must have been two paladins. Yeah, now I remember. If you recall, before we had a paladin called Gijvek, or Giljivek. So that was the other paladin that joined halfway. Mikreen was the real paladin that helped me with the escort in Felwood and then helped me with the other quest and then helped Gijvik with his escort quest. Is the best paladin in the world, basically. At least in this realm. Miram, priest, helped me with furbolgs and ashwell oil, healed me. Surprising? Well, basically we did a quest in Ashwell to kill some furbolgs. That's it. There was nothing special to that group. We just joined up to get a kill on a furbolg. That all was needed. But on the way back, I got attacked by a bunch of burlocks, dazed and confused. And I was about to die, and this Miram priest saved my life even though he was no longer in the party. So we had disbanded after we killed it. So that was nice. Miradu helped me overseer in Elite and Silgarge. Did other quests afterwards. So this was the warrior that joined the party of the warlock, me and the hunter. Back when the warlock was still there. And stayed throughout all the quests. Namiria, warrior, helped me with Ogres and Stangle, Great Run and Maraudon. So that's the warrior from the warrior and priest combo in the Maraudon one, if you recall. Naralex, druid, helped with elite dragons in Badlands. Okay, so in this case, what was happening was I was starting to get annoyed with the bunch of elite quests that was staying in my inventory. One of them was Princess. If you recall, I did it with 2 mages. Another one was this one. Another one was King Mukla. So this one was Tremors of the Earth or something, and you need to kill 2 level 50 elite dragons. Unfortunately, you get the quest at like level 40, so it's really hard to get people for it. But I managed to find 2, this druid and a warrior, who also seemed to be a couple. And the druid healed us. The warrior was kind of useless because he was low level and did no damage to a level 50 mob, but he was there, you know. As I was getting the group, you know, I got these 2 people, and other people kept joining for the first part and then leaving. Like, I would have helped them with the first part too. I'm not heartless, you know. It's not like anything blocks the second part. You do the first part and then you do the second part, and the first part is in the same area, just a bit, you know, on the other side of the area or something, but still. They kept leaving, and there was a party going to Uldaman, and they tried to coerce me to go tank for them. They're like, hey, can you tank Uldaman for us? We'll do this quest for you if you do. Unfortunately, at that point, I was already with the other 2 people, so I said, I'm sorry, this can't work, because there's 3 people here, and you have 4 people in your group, so... sorry, didn't end up tanking that day. Anyway, long story short, we pulled the dragons, both of them combat ones, they kill us. Well, at least me. I think the druid escapes with her life. And we come back and then we pull them one by one and dispatch of them without too much trouble. Then the real mage helped me with King Mukla. If you recall, I had a story about a druid, hunter, and a mage doing King Mukla. And that was the mage from the story. Nothing special about him, just joined along for the ride. Nasaj was the warrior with help with elite dragons, so he came there with Naralex. These were a couple. Naveen, paladin, helped me with giants in Stranglethorn. He was the paladin that came with Melia the mage. So, he was Naveen the paladin. Nightstar, hunter, stuck around for a dead Zul'Farrak run. So this was the run with the priest that went AFK for 20 minutes. So I call it a dead run, but we actually finished, but he stuck around for it. 20 minutes, dudes, that's not easy. Nithala, if you recall at the very start we talked about a druid, which we did Murlocs in Stranglethorn. This is one of the mages that I was referring to at the time. Olofdolf, the very first Uldaman run. No idea why all these people are yellow. We have Ormelin, that's a decent healer in BFD. I don't even know his class. Point being that I guess at that point they gave me not as good as impression as other people so far, which is why they didn't get green, but yeah. Who knows? I don't remember much about either of these actually, because again, since this doesn't even have a class, it probably means I didn't actually... Yeah, this was probably just when I installed the add-on, I didn't know what I was doing. Whereas Olofdolf, I don't know. Maybe he sounded bossy, maybe that was the reason, who knows. Ozzy, warrior, nice run of Uldaman. Yeah, once again from that run of Uldaman that I don't remember. The only thing I remember about the first run of Uldaman was that the tank offered a terrible strategy for the last boss. He said, you know what we should do? We should pull the boss all the way up to the upper level so that the ads don't spawn. But unfortunately all of the ads spawned and attacked us all at once, wiping us. So instead we did it inside the room and it was easy peasy, and that's the first run of Uldaman. And the paladin healer Palermo, probably the same. Well, that's weird. We have Olofdolf, very nice run of Uldaman, and then we have a nice run of... Look, I've done so many Uldamans I can't even keep track of who's doing what and why anymore. Suffice to say, Uldaman doesn't really leave a good impression or a bad impression. It's just a weird instance. Pixel, Paladin Nice SM Armory and Cathedral run. We already talked about this run. Cyclone, Rogue, Sunken Temple run at level 58-59. That was this morning. Nothing special to say other than that if I wasn't tanking, he'd probably have done the Dennis the Menace Rogue thing. He was also popping off immediately, but I guess that's just how rogues are these days. You gotta tap those DPS meters somehow. I still think I managed to keep the threat together remarkably well, all things considered. Yeah, not much else to say because that run was fucking stellar. I just completely navigated through the area so well. There's everything else doesn't matter. Burglock, Warlock, helped me with Overseer Elite and Searing Gorge. That was the Warlock that I was talking about Searing Gorge that started a group. And unfortunately left after we did the Overseer. Missed out on some cool experience. Quelm, Priest Healer, nice run of Sunken Temple. So this was not today's run. This was from the run with the weird Paladin tank. Not much to say other than that, yeah. Obviously I was off tanking the last boss, or maybe just tanking the last boss because I did so much DPS the Paladin tank couldn't keep up with the threat, because I popped all cooldowns. Who really knows? But I didn't die, so must be a really nice healer. Quote, Warrior, help me with Bloodscalp Tusk for a quest. Okay, Bloodscalp Tusks, if I'm not mistaken, are the tusks that you need 30 off for your warrior quest in Stranglethorn Whale. That if you complete this quest, you get the Whirlwind Axe. I got my Whirlwind Axe at like level 44, so I did this quest also around like 44. And really it was more me helping the guy, but you know, technically he helped me too, because if I was killing them by myself, it would have been a pain in the ass. So two of us did it together. I got it first, and then I stayed around with him until he got his 30. Probably took easily over an hour. Pain in the ass quest, but it was fun doing it with someone else, you know? Helping people out. Always nice. He was like only level 31 or something. So to him, that was really nice, I assume. Razorks. Warrior, help me with Fosruk in Arathi. So remember I mentioned Princess Quest in Arathi? One of the parts is to kill Fosruk, which is a giant with 3 kobolds following him around. He's actually a neutral giant, so that's nice. I think I joined up with a warrior, and then this warrior joined right before we started pulling, and the 3 of us managed to take it down without casualties. That was really nice. Didn't expect that, but I guess 3 warriors are some serious business. Nothing much else happened after that. Renfrey, Rogue, help me with elite ogres in Eltarak. So, this is from, again, from one of the groups I already mentioned, where we had to kill a bunch of ogres in one specific alliance fort instead of the entire fortification, because that's only where they spawn. Nothing special in particular. Just a rogue helping me with the quest. Retrocolic. Okay, this was yesterday, I believe. Paladin that seemed to be a healer, because he had a lot of intellect. And helped me kill Elite Forbog in Winterspring. Now I help him. So the way this worked is I was finishing up all the quests in Winterspring, because I was finishing up all the quests in Felwood, and I didn't want to go back there ever again, so I did all the quests that involve Winterspring as well. One of those quests is to kill the Chief. And the Chief is an elite, level 58 or something, and he spawns with 2 also level 58 or something patrols. So the way I did it is I pulled them all, killed 1 patrol, reset, pulled them all again, killed the other patrol, reset, and then pulled only the boss, popped all cooldowns, and hoped for the best. And with the help of a healing potion and some bandaging, I survived and killed him. I wouldn't say easily, but with some space for error left. And as I finished up with the quest, you know, giving it in, a paladin invites me to a group and says, "Could you please help me? I've got this complicated quest I need to complete." It says, "It's to kill this Chief Furbolg." Damn. I asked before killing the Furbolg if someone was up for it, but obviously no one was up for it, so I had to kill it by myself. Thankfully I was able to do it, but I wasn't sure that, you know, other people would be able to do it the same way, especially paladins. I don't know. Could have ended poorly for him. So I decided to help him out. I needed to go to the flight path eventually anyway, so I said, okay, I'll just go help you out. And I helped him out. I killed it for him. I was really surprised that I managed to kill it by myself, because this time we just pulled them all and nuked them all down. So like, you did this all by yourself? Oh my god. Rick, a priest healer, lame run in Reservoir Downs. Nothing special to say about this one anymore. I covered it. It's a lame run. It has to be there, so I know to expect a lame run if one of these people is in there. Ertvu, a warlock, nice run of Sunken Temple. So this was not the run in this morning, it was the previous run with the Paladin tank. Nothing much to say about the other people in the group, they seemed nice and decent. Rudolph, Ninja Greens in Lochmadan. I believe it was a warrior, but I could be wrong. It was a gnome. I am absolutely right. And the way this worked was this. I was like level 30 almost, and I come back to Lochmadan because after doing the wetlands quests, they send you back to Lochmadan. Like, you're supposed to kind of go all the way to wetlands, given the quest, and then go back to Lochmadan, but I didn't do that until I'm level 30, because I said I'll do wetlands when I'm level 30 or something. So I could do the elite quest there. So I go back and I get sent to kill a bunch of ogres again. Now I'm level 30 and people are doing those ogres for the quest, so I said fuck it, I'll join group. And in this group was Rudolph, the ninja. And another warrior joined. I forget his name, I don't think I added him here. Maybe I did, maybe we'll find him later. He was the one that invited me, but the moment that this guy ninja'd a green, he said, "Why the fuck do you need on greens, dude?" And he fucking left and hearted away. So I was left with this ninja and another warrior. I thought, well, you know, fuck it, I don't really care. I can still help this other warrior, even if I help this ninja. And he kept needing on every single green. When I needed on a green to see what his reaction would be, he said nothing. So I don't know what the hell he was doing. But yeah, he ninja greens, and people don't like that. So I put her on red. The first, if not only red in this fucking list. Sarah's Saddle. Priest, healer, nice run of Reservoir Downs. So this was the nice run. Once again, we already covered, nothing else to say. Cersle was the rogue that stayed for the Zul'Farrak run with the priest that was AFK for 20 minutes. Once again, we covered it. Shaitan was another warrior that joined us for Rise Obsidian. As you recall in Seren Gorge, the other people that I have added joined from the Overseer Elite, which is a different quest in Rise Obsidian. This warrior joined specifically for Rise Obsidian and stuck around with us. There was another warrior that joined specifically just for Rise Obsidian and I believe didn't stick around with us because he was just there for that quest. And I'm sure we'll find him eventually in this list. Sick Ambush. Rogue did not help me with elites in Seren Gorge. Very interesting. Why would I put it there like this? I have no idea. I genuinely don't remember what this person did or didn't do, but more than likely it was like maybe I helped him with an elite and then he didn't help me back or something. And then I ended up dying or something. It's possible. Something weird like that, but nothing bad. Just, you know, weird, sad experience, which could have gone much better. Skjadbjorn. Hunter, lame run in Reservoir Downs. This has got to be the last person in the lame run of Reservoir Downs. This was the hunter that joined after the rogue that disconnected got kicked. So it's got to be the last one. Skinnar, warrior, help me with quest in Desolus. Okay, so there was a pair of people. One of them was a warrior, the other one was a paladin. That as I was going through Desolus, they helped me out. It started off by killing the skeletons. A rogue joined me for like 10 and then had to go because he finished. But this guy and the paladin was still there, so we joined and finished. And we disbanded the group, and the reason I was doing those skeletons was because I wanted to get the quest for Scarlet Monastery so I could get a good two-handed weapon, because at that time mine was shit. I didn't have Whirlwind Axe either. I couldn't even grind for Whirlwind Axe because my weapon was too shit to actually kill mobs with. So Scarlet Monastery quest actually gave me an axe that's even better than Whirlwind Axe. I kept pretty much until I got my current weapon from Maraudon's crocodile boss. Anyway, after the skeletons, I started going north and I started killing centaurs for rep. I saw that they were also doing it, so I joined up for that as well. So we did the centaurs for rep, we did another centaur quest for rep till I get some kind of thing from them, I don't remember what it was. And we finished all that and then finally parted our ways. I'm sure we'll find a paladin in this list. They were in a weird guild, like, it was clearly a foreign guild, I just don't remember what it was. Snoozy, rogue, helped me with cultist in Felwood. So this guy didn't help me with all the other quests in Felwood that I mentioned before, just killing the cultists. So the first time I went there to Jadenar, I just killed some cultists, saw the rogue, joined up for forces and killed the cultists together. That's it. Now the big dick one. The one you've been waiting for ever since I talked about Nomergan. Solera the Rogue. So it all started when I was doing Darkshire / Duskwood quests. And all I had left was the elite quests, and I decided it's time to make a group. Because I went to one of the elites and there was a group, but it was full. Well, what can you do? So I made my own, and a rogue joined me named Solera. And since someone else was doing one of the elites, we went to do a different elite at the same time, you know. And we chatted a bit, and we actually killed Morladim and the Embalmer's wife, I believe. The two elites, all by ourselves. Particularly Morladim was surprising, but I went full tank mode, and as a result we persevered, and it was really fun because he was I don't know, I wouldn't say he was role playing, but he was sort of in character, you know, talking stuff. I really enjoyed that. So for the Morbin Fell quest there, we got a few more people to join us, a couple of warriors, and after that, all of us went back to kill the last mob in the chain for I forget his name, but it ends basically by killing this dual-wielding undead dude that's straight north of Darkshire. I helped him with that, and then he said, yeah, you know, I want to do kind of stockades, and then Gnomragon. And I'm, okay, I was going to do Gnomragon next, as I did. We can do the stockades first if you like. And he was like, cool, awesome. Maybe we can do it just the two of us, because I only need one quest in there to kill the dwarf. And I said, yeah, let's try it. And we went into the stockades and we decimated everything there, because I was a bit high level and his level was also above appropriate. Finally, after doing that, both of us went and made a group for Gnomragon, which, like I said, was one of the best instance runs that I've ever had, and I already talked about it before. But the point of this is that this insane Gnomragon run that was a full instance run with all the quests, it all started in Darkshire, Duskwood, where I just joined a random rogue for a quest, and then it just escalated beyond that into all these cool things. And I really like that about this game. Like, no other game that I've played could have such an interaction. I can't imagine it happening, at least not naturally. That's what's so insane. That's what things like that keep me playing and keep me coming back and hoping it happens again and stuff. I don't think it's going to happen as much at high levels. Partly that's one of the reasons I'm leveling some alts, maybe, but fucking fantastic. That took like almost an entire day of a weekend to accomplish that. It's great. Sonata, mage, saved me from imminent death due to Forblood pack in Northern Velvet. So, as I said yesterday, or the day before, I was doing a quest in Winterspring. One of them involves going back to Felwood, which is why I was doing them. And one of those quests is go to this Forblood camp, look for clues and stuff. And the clue is a cauldron surrounded by like 5 mobs. Well, I pull those mobs and use my AoE fear. Get the quest and run away. Dazed and confused, I'm about to die, and a mage that was sitting AFK right next to me this entire time, probably crying a rap, pops out alive and starts fucking AoEing them and frost-knowing them, and I managed to just escape. But in my escape, it seems that he pulled too much, so he's about to fucking perish too. He can't handle this many mobs. I turn around, open my first aid menu and make a bandage, because I ran out of bandages. Bandage myself up. The priest HP, sorry, the mage HP sticking down, and I charge right back into the fray and fucking AoE him down and help him kill him. He's got like fucking sliver of life left and we finished the last mob off. That was awesome. Again, more of these kind of experiences in the game, please. Please. Spensnaz helped me with quest in Felwood, Shadowhold. So this is the second hunter. They joined us for the Felwood quests that I mentioned multiple times throughout this list already. So we already talked about it. Spud helped him with Elf Escort quest in Desolus. Basically, I was doing something. Yeah, I was gonna do the escort quest myself, but this priest already had started it, and somehow or other he managed to run into like 5 mobs at once. So in this case, I was the mage from Velwood, where I charge in out of nowhere and fucking decimate like all of those mobs so that he can complete the quest. Beautiful. Stenico. Rogue, very nice run of Alderman, just the rogue that I ran Alderman with. Nothing special, nothing to add. Striver, warrior, did not invite me as DPS to Zul'Farrak. Okay, so this guy was advertising for, I need a DPS for Zul'Farrak, and I write him, sure, I can DPS to you, and he didn't respond, and then he continued to spam looking for DPS. So, if he hadn't continued to spam, I wouldn't have added him, but he clearly ignored my message, so I added him to the list so I remember. Oh, you try join my group, Striver. See what happens, fucker. Sun Mage, helper me. Helpered me with Elite Murlocs and Stranglethorn. Helped, obviously. So once again, we already covered the Elite Murlocs and Stranglethorn. Nothing special there. Just a bunch of the ones where I had to buy the water working potions for. Sura, Mage, very nice high level older man. Again, older man. We've been down this road before. As you can see, there's a lot of people I did Ultimate with. Psycho. Oh my god, another mage that lame run in the Reservoir Downs. How many fucking people did I have this stupid lame run in the Reservoir Downs? Jesus. Just fuck off. Your run was lame. Stop appearing in this list, you fuckers. The Magic Man helped me with Silithids in Daenerys. Oh yeah. Remember I told the story about the warrior where we kept pulling mobs and there were more and more spawning and we were riding our run. The mage that helped and saved us out there was called literally the Magic Man. And my response to him saving us was, thank you, Magic Man. Perfection. Theramir, Hunter, I helped them with ghost quests. See, remember at the very start I was confused what were those ghost quests. I was right. It was Theramir the Hunter and whatever the fuck that other mage was called. Those were the two people I helped with ghost quests. They killed my fucking ghost first, so I helped them to get through the quests. Whatever, that doesn't make sense, but it does. Thorim, Paladin, very nice run of Alderman, you know the drill. Thuglet, Warrior, helped me with Rise Obsidian only. So yeah, this was one of those warriors that, the last warrior to join our 4-warrior group. And he helped us with the Rise Obsidian and then fucked off. I mean, you know, you can't expect all of them to stick around forever. Tic Tacs, Hunter, helped him with Insane Druids and Ashenvale. So yeah, if you recall, I said that I found randomly a priest that was doing the same quest in Ashenvale. I also found this Hunter and we helped him halfway through, like I mentioned before. Nothing else to add there. Tilinor, Druid, nice run of Sunken Temple. Again, this was the first run with a crazy Paladin tank. Tiona, Warrior, helped me with Fosric and Arathi. This is the second warrior that I mentioned when we talked about the other warrior that helped me with Fosric. Tolvin, Mage, helped me with Princess Arathi. This is the second mage that I mentioned about helping with the Princess and Arathi. Topanga, Paladin, helped me with Quest and Deathless. Again, this is from the same party of Paladin and Warrior that helped me with Quest and Deathless. Oh my god, we're almost there. Tyrion, Warlock, nice run of Uldaman. You know the drill. Tyr, Priest Healer, helped finish first Sulfurak run. So this is the priest that stepped in to finish the last boss. One thing I remember about him was, as he joined, he said, watch out for those snakes. They hit really hard. So I pulled the snakes. We sheep 1. We sheep 2, I think, actually, because we had 2 mages. And, you know, they started hitting me. I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Turns out they barely hit me for like 100. That's rookie numbers. Hit me for 500, then we'll be afraid. So I'm all like, oh man, I feel like you gave us false advertisement. Those snakes didn't hit hard at all. So like, no, it's just because I'm a good healer. No dude, I was saying like they barely hit me for like 100 or something. Oh. I guess it's because of good tanking then, smiley face. Yeah, so, you know, he's a jolly good guy is all I'm saying. Waterwalker. Priest helped me with Goblin Miners and Trozen Stranglethorn. That was an interesting one. Basically, as it says, I went to the Stranglethorn Miners. Those fuckers hit super hard for some reason, compared to everything else in that area. I couldn't fucking kill them by myself. Thankfully there was a priest, so we grouped up together and killed them. And since he also needed trolls, he helped me out. Well, we helped each other out with the remaining trolls in the same area, including an elite quest that he didn't have for some troll's eye or whatever, I don't remember. Point being, we did a lot of things together there. A lot more than a little bit. I ended up adding him to friends because he said, you know, if you need a priest, call me. I never actually ended up needing a priest though, because I ended up joining someone else's group all the time. So, sad. Wheeze! Warrior tried to help me with King Mukla once. So this is the warrior that I was talking about. Since we're on the final bit of this, you can see Zula is the druid. If you recall when I mentioned King Mukla that I tried to do it twice. So the warrior and druid are Wheeze and Zul. Wheeze didn't join me for the second time. But Zul did rejoin me after I whispered him. But Wheeze was very happy that I remembered him, even though I remembered him just, you know... Well, I didn't remember that he existed, I just didn't remember his specific name, because I suck with names. Wulok helped him with escort while grinding. Let's add the same note, while grinding Yetis in Faralas. So, like I said, the priest that joined me while I was grinding Yetis invited a warlock. This is that warlock. That's it. There's nothing else to say about him. Wolf! Oh, Wolf. So this happened today, and it was hilarious. We just finished Sunken Temple, and I got Tooth of Veranicus to drop. It was better than my sword. It did more DPS. It gets hit rating, so it's beautiful. At least until I'm doing raids, which fuck knows if I'll ever do. No thanks to Wolf, because Wolf is a level 60 hunter that was farming, I assume, Devilsaurs for their leather in Ungoro. And I'm passing by in Ungoro with my new axe, and I'm thinking, oh, well, he's fighting a Devilsaur, and Devilsaurs have pretty high levels. I'm just gonna stand and attack him from behind him. Like, what difference is it? To him it won't make any difference. To me it could be a couple of level ups of skill. It's the highest level mob there, pretty much. Fortunately, my plan didn't work out very well, because Devilsaurs fear, and I happened to be feared when I didn't have any rage, so I couldn't get out of the fear. So I pulled some mobs. I still went back to the Devilsaur afterwards, just to get a few extra hits in. Got feared again, but this time I had rage, so I got out of fear. But by that time the Devilsaur died, so I started killing the mobs. I killed the mobs casually, you know. I skinned them, because I have skinning, because I have skinning and herbalism, because they're gathering professions. And that's how I make money, because I just have gathering professions that funnel money into my pockets so I can get the mount, the epic mount that everyone covets. Immediately after I skin him, the hunter whispers to me, "You were trying to steal it, weren't you, smiley face?" God damn it, I'm all like, yes, I was trying to steal the weapon skill up points. Because basically the way I said it, it was something along the lines, yes. And then in the follow-up message I say, I was stealing weapon skill ups. Basically, I was making fun of his completely silly accusation. How the fuck would I steal your fucking leather by running into a mob that fears me? Anyway, his only other message was blacklisted. And then he never talked to me again. I don't know, he might even ignore me or something. But it's hilarious, like, you know, you come over and you technically help a guy, you know. I mean, I obviously didn't do any damage because I had no weapon skill to hit the enemy with, so it's not like I actually helped. But from his point of view, I was attacking an enemy that was elite for all intents to help him out. And he's all like, ah, you're here to steal my shit. Fuck you, Wolf. You fucking... I don't even know the word to describe you correctly with. Grumpy old bastard is the closest that I can think of. Just because someone charges your mobs and then skins other mobs next to it while not even coming close to your Devilsaur that you're oh so proud of fucking killing with your level 60 hunter doesn't mean it's trying to fucking steal your fucking leather. And let me be fucking honest, I think stealing Devilsaur leather is a fair game. If you manage to pull it off, I think you fucking deserve it, because it's not a fucking triviality to pull it off. The person doing it literally has to fuck it up horribly for that to happen. So I think it's totally fair game, but I wouldn't do it. I don't like pissing people off. So it's fucking hilarious that in some sense, you know, I'm there technically making use of this Devilsaur to get weapon skill ups, and like, this guy accuses me of fucking stealing. Come on, Wolf. You're better than this. I don't even know who you are, but you got to level 60, and you can kill Devilsaurs by yourself. You must have some modicum of intelligence. Think a little. Think. XP, Hunter, help me with elites in Searing Gorge. Oh yeah, so this was the day before I did Rise Obsidian, the 4 warrior one. This was when I was grinding for the Ragnaros drop from the dudes in Heal Like 30. Towards the end, finally someone joined me, grouped me up with me, and helped me out on the last 10 or so to get the drop. And it was this hunter called XP. He didn't join just for XP, because he also needed a loon drop. It was nice. Speaking of not stealing, here's another person who did not steal something. It was Eve the Mage, I believe. Well, the way it worked was, I was trying to kill Zoramstrand quest mob by clearing everything around it and then killing it. And I didn't make it in time because I was drinking and eating or whatever. and the mage pulled, but then he invited me to the group, so he didn't steal my kill. But you know, even if he fucking did, I'd be upset, but I wouldn't fucking go like, I'm never gonna fucking play with you ever again. You're never gonna see a fucking dungeon inside with a group ever again or something. Like this fucking wolf hunter. Like seriously, dude. So many people are so nice and stuff, and then these fucking hardcore gamers come over, and I say hardcore in brackets because come on, dude, you're fucking farming Devil's or Letter by yourself on a hunter. Come off your high horse. Come off your high horse. Yeah, I'm not gonna let this go because this is so fucking bullshit. Like, look at all these people that I met. All these nice fucking people. How many of these people I had bad experience with? So little. So few people are actually assholes in this game. Yet this motherfucker, he sees a person like attacking a mob, and his first assumption is, he's here to steal it. Sure, let's say it's because I have got skinning, so he's suspicious. Still doesn't make it reasonable. At least see me try to skin the Devil's Sword before you fucking accuse me, you piece of shit. I hate false accusations, if you haven't realized yet. They really ruffle my feathers, or whatever the fuck. I don't have any feathers to ruffle, so what the fuck is that? Rustle my jimmies, there we go. Enery, help me in Tower Athlax. I don't know why this is neutral. I think this was also still back when I started using the mod, but it's a druid. I went into Tower of Athlax. I was a bit lowish, 29 or something, and failed because there's very many caster mobs that like to run away, and warrior can't deal with that when there's two of them at the same time. So I died, and I saw the druid right outside, and he said, "Oh, are you doing the same quest?" And I said, "Yes, I totally am." And so we grouped up, and we did the quest together, and it was great. It was complete. Very nice. Not like this motherfucking... Okay, enough about the hunter. Zangetsu. This was actually in the process of recording this video, or the audio for it. I went from Darnassus, to Daenerys, and on the way I stopped by wetlands to get on the boat, and I saved a paladin that had just pulled one of those mobs that you get to attack in wetlands, and it's part of a quest chain. He was almost dead. I pulled the mobs off him, killed him. He said thanks. I said no problem, smiley face. And we went on our way. But he will be forever memorialized in this list now. Like, it's not like I expect anything in return. I just want to know that if I see this person, and I see him still playing, I know that I contributed to this person still being there. Who knows? If I hadn't saved him there and then, he might have quit the game. Not necessarily specifically because of that, but it could have been the straw that broke the camel's back. But because I did it, I gave him hope. I gave him the experience that he needed to keep going. Fuck yes. Not like this fucking hunter. Okay, and the last one on the list is Zonni Vlecht. Mage helped him with Sweet Ember and Feralas. Funny that that's the last one. If you recall, all the way back at the top when I was first talking about Feralas, I mentioned that we did Ogre quest in a group. And I saw a tree fall from the sky. So it all comes back to this moment. Sweet Amber is a quest in Westfall that tells you to go all over the world to fetch all kinds of items from all over the place. One of these items is drops from a treant, specifically in Feralas. But this treant wouldn't spawn. By chance, I ran into a mage that was doing the same quest at the same time, and neither he nor I could find it. So I look it up on the guide, and it turns out the guy doesn't spawn until you kill another treant, which happens to be the same treant that I had just seen fall from the sky while doing the Ogre quest. So I knew exactly where to go. I went there, found the treant, he fell from the sky again, glitched out or some shit multiple times, but finally became normal. Then I killed it, and then immediately this quest mob spawned, and then we killed him, and that's how I helped this mage with the quest, because let's be honest, he probably would have never figured out or found the fucking thing on his own, because he was just sitting there losing all hope at this point. So that's that. That is the 4+ hours of adventure in World of Warcraft that I managed to accumulate. Almost level 60, took a little bit over a month. Lots of playing, playtime, who in fucking knows, let's take a look. 10 days, 11 hours. 250 hours, dudes. 250 hours. Now, quite a bit of that time was used up just doing nothing or half AFK or leveling fishing, so I don't think it all counts, but I think 10 days is still good. Estimation. Very, very fun, very exciting. These are the kind of experience you can expect to experience in World of Warcraft if you play and you're not afraid to whisper people. So, sounds appealing? I would recommend to try out Classic WoW. That's not something I say lightly. I don't recommend things. So when I do, you know it's fucking serious. It definitely is an experience, I think, worth experiencing. And who knows how long will this last, because for what it's worth, it isn't a very appealing game, and the content coming out for it is going to be relatively slow probably. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people end up leaving at the end of the day at some point. But there probably will be a bunch of people playing at all times. I don't doubt that this game, just like the retail WoW, will retain its subscriber base. Because if retail WoW can retain a subscriber base, then this game sure as hell can retain a subscriber base. Because it's straight up better. Just saying. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go now and do some quests in Searing Gorge. Probably do a Black Rob Death run tomorrow or something. Do all those quests in full run and stuff. And maybe I'll use that as footage for the background of this, because fishing would be boring probably. But you'll just see when I release the video. Who knows what I'll do. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.
That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. It's too far away. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that. Not ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough rage. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. I need a target. Need more rage. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not enough rage. That ability isn't ready yet. Need more rage. Not enough rage. I can't do that. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. Need more rage. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not enough rage. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Need more rage. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. Not enough rage. I can't do that yet. Need more rage. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Ready yet. Not enough rage. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Need more rage. Not enough rage. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Need more rage. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. Not enough rage. That ability isn't ready yet. Need more rage. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough rage. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Need more rage. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. Need to get closer. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Yet. Not enough rage. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. Need more rage. I can't do that yet. Not enough rage. Need more rage. That ability isn't ready yet. I'm out of range. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. It's too far away. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not enough rage. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Need more rage. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet.
Find some interesting gadgets around here. I do love tinkering with things.
That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. Not enough rage. That ability isn't ready yet. Need more rage. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Fantastic! That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. Not enough rage. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. Not ready yet. I can't do that. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Need more rage. Isn't ready yet. I'm out of range. Not ready yet. I can't do that. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. It's too far away. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. enough rage. Need more rage. That ability isn't ready. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not enough rage. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Need more rage. I can't do that. Not ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not enough rage. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I need to get closer. Not ready yet. Need more rage. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not enough rage. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. I have a target. I'm out of range. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Need more rage. Not enough rage. I can't do that yet. Need more rage. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not enough rage. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I need to get closer. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready. I can't do that. Need more rage. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough rage. I can't do that. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. Need more rage. Not ready yet. I can't do that. Not ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not ready yet. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not enough rage. Need more rage. I'm out of range. It's too far away. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Ready? That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. Not enough rage. That ability isn't ready yet. Need more rage. I can't do that. Not ready yet. I need to get closer.